It's a chilly fall evening in Bloomington, and Clutch Sports Media welcomes you inside Bill Hunman Memorial Field as we are locked and loaded for a battle between two top dogs in the Illini Prairie Conference. It's the 4-2 St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans making the trip up north to take on the undefeated Saints of Bloomington Central Catholic. I'm Dalton Carmine, joined by my partner in the booth, Garrett Oliver. And Garrett, this is shaping up to be one of the most interesting games all season long in the Illini Prairie Conference, and a game that could, moreover, have a huge playoff implication as we enter the back third of the season. What are you looking for here tonight, and what excites you the most about this matchup?
There are two great quarterbacks on display tonight. Cody McKinney, very reliable in the air and on the ground. Same thing with Matthew Brady. He is a big, physical guy. He's going to be hard to take down if he gets out of the pocket.
There are weapons, Garrett, up and down both of these teams, on the ground, in the air, on the defensive side of the ball. And in a game that's going to be this hard-nosed, you have to think the winner of this one is going to be the one who commits less of those smaller, mental errors. Would I be correct?
Yes, you are very correct on that. I think it's going to come down to the trenches, that O-line, that D-line, really making holes for these running backs, for these quarterbacks to get out of the pocket and really create some momentum.
Indeed, partner, and you will not want to miss it. One of the best games across the entire state of Illinois here on October 10th. All the action is coming at you on the other side of the break on ClutchSportsIL.com. Stage is set for the Saints and Spartans, a top clash in the Illini Prairie Conference. What a win this would be, Garrett, for both these squads to put on their resume. Both these squads inside the top 15 in Class 3A. As we get a look at the newly updated AP poll, Bloomington Central Catholic comes in at number 4 in the Class 3A poll, and could potentially be on their way to another undefeated season after they did so in 2023, Garrett. And for SJO, 4-2 record coming in, receiving votes for the top 10 in the Class 3A poll. They're at about number 14 for the Spartans, so it's really not often, Garrett, that you get two teams in the same conference, same class, that are both inside the top 15 in the state of Illinois. It's really impressive stuff from the Illini Prairie Conference this year.
Yes, it is. It's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams play each other. It's going to be a tough matchup for both teams on both sides of the ball.
And for just a few moments here before kickoff, let's take a look at tonight's key players. First, for the men in white, that's the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans. And this guy is pretty tough to miss. Number 72, Cameron Wagner, a top 10 offensive lineman in the 2027 class. And he is a 4-star recruit, one of the best linemen across the entire country. 17 Division I offers, Garrett. How impressive is that?
That is so impressive. You're going to see a lot of him tonight. St. Joe Ogden's going to run a lot of plays behind him on the left side of that line.
Wagner's racking up SEC offers, Big Ten offers, and everything in between. It won't be easy for the Spartans, though. For their defense, they're going to have to deal with Matthew Brady, the Saints QB, and he is just an absolute unit. One of the bigger quarterbacks that you will see across any team across Illinois. 6'4", 200-pounder, and Brady is equally as effective in the air as he is on the ground.
very hard to bring him down in the open field. He's going to be hard to beat in the secondary.
I would expect, both these teams, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, they can hurt you in any way on offense, in the air, on the ground. SJO likes to lean a little bit in the air. They'll throw it just a bit more than they will run it, and BCC the opposite. They'll run it a bit more than they throw it, but you have to be prepared. And I don't even want to imagine the amount of hours that these coaches have put in this week trying to discuss how on earth do we attack the other team, because there's so many layers to both of these teams. There's so many ways they can hurt you. How could you possibly prepare for everything that you're going to see?
That is very true. It's going to be interesting to see how these coaches' game plans work out in this big matchup.
Some fireworks here at Bloomington Central Catholic as the Saints, rocking their classic blue and gold look, are about ready to go. And taking a look at this matchup last year, it's always a fun matchup, but the Spartans, St. Joseph-Ogden, got the better of BCC a year ago behind a huge second quarter. It fell behind 7-0, but outscoring BCC 24-6 in the second quarter really laid the groundwork for what was an impressive victory for the Spartans a year ago. And you know that they would love to do just that here again tonight, Garrett.
Yes, they would, but Bloomington Central Catholic's obviously not going to want that to happen again, especially on their home field. They're going to defend it hard.
Indeed they are. This place is rocking. Been quite a crowd here, and it's only getting bigger as we get a nice good look at Matthew Brady there, number 8 in blue. Play some linebacker on defense as well, but certainly a candidate for an all-conference player of the year, first team. SJO will receive the football first. As Benjamin Dappin, number 9, will line it up and get ready to send this one away to the Spartans. Some final words of encouragement from the kicker to his boys. They break apart, and we are about ready to go in what is going to be a game that nobody's going to want to miss. The junior kicker looks left, looks right, and swings that right foot in the air as Tim Blackbird Kelly, back to return it, catches it on the goal line and takes off, looking for some blockers, and he's tripped up just inside of his own 20. A very, very nice tackle from Dylan Whitworth. And as offense sets up here for the Spartans, just looking at the quarter scoring discrepancy for SJO, their offense has been booming early. 66 points across their 6 games in the first quarter. Just goes to show how important getting off to a good start is, Garrett.
Yes, it is. It'd be interesting to see what they start out with here, if they go on the ground or in the air, and to test this Bloomington Central Catholic defense.
Could certainly do both. It all runs through Cody McKinney, the 5'9", 160-pound senior quarterback. One man with him in the backfield. And he's going to hand off to him. That's Lane McKinney, who got to the outside, maybe picked up a couple. So the McKinney to McKinney handoff goes for a few. Good defense from the Saints to start things out.
Yes, that is a good start, forward progress. We'll see what they have drawn up for their second down play.
McKinney takes it now, rolls right, has some space, now dumps it off to the opposite side in the flat. And there's some space to run for the Spartans. Must to get to the outside and getting past the 40. Beautiful catch and run by Riker Lockhart, the senior receiver.
That was a great drawn-up play that time, rolling out right, then going back to the left, and great ball carrier vision by Lockhart to get into open space.
Wasn't a deep shot down the field, wasn't really a crazy special play or anything, just a dump off to the opposite side and went for a huge gain. They're going to go for another huge gain here. McKinney's got all day back there over the middle, and he's got a man brought down. I believe he got the first down. And it was Tim Blackburn Kelly on the reception.
That was great time in the pocket. That O-line is doing a great job out there protecting McKinney.
SJO not wasting any time. They are into enemy territory. That last play did move the chains. Here's a fake jet sweep. And McKinney's going to keep it and dive forward for a gain of a couple. McKinney will get it done on the ground in the air as well. He's got 7 rushing touchdowns and just about 70 carries on the year. So these misdirections, moving parts, as he sends the big lineman Cameron Wagner to the outside. Now he busts it to the outside. Has a little bit of room, dives forward once more. Is this one going to move the chains? Yes, it is. So 3 first downs. The SJO offense not wasting any time here. I like it.
They are explosive. You never know what they're going to do next. We'll see what they have drawn up here. What a motion.
McKinney's alone in the backfield. They're going to be going to the air. And now he sends a man in motion. Looks right. It's a wide receiver screen out to the right side. Has a little bit of space. Lane McKinney catches the pass. And got a nice chunk of yardage. Was it another first down? Doesn't look like it. 2nd down and 1 is what they're going to call it. Could go right up the middle and try to get a yard here. Some options for the Spartans. And it's going to be a handoff. Not a huge game, but it doesn't matter, as Wyatt Wirtz is going to get the first down. So 4 first downs in the matter of just a couple minutes here, as we can hardly catch our breath. This is how SJO likes to move the football. They've done it for years. Dropping back McKinney. Looks right side, has a man. And it's caught. Riker Lockhart again, his 2nd catch in the early going. And this offense for the Spartans is smooth as silk right now. McKinney's got time, and he's making the right decisions.
There have been no hiccups for this offense so far. That O-line doing a great job, and McKinney finding his reads quick and good.
UCC's got to figure out something defensively. Here's a handoff to Wirtz. Tries to head to the corner pylon. He's going to be wrapped up, but it was a very nice gain. And Valshawn Powell, the star running back, playing defensive back here for the Saints, makes a very nice tackle to prevent what would have probably been a touchdown. Spartans again, they're going to roll out left. McKinney, and he scampers into the end zone for 6. And in the blink of an eye, it's a dream start for the Spartans.
McKinney took off there. That is his 8th rushing touchdown on the season. He is explosive on the ground.
And just a tremendous job by not only the offensive line on that play, but Wyatt Wirtz, the fullback, getting out to the left and providing even more space for McKinney to run. And I really can't really think of a better start you could possibly have if you're SJO here, Garrett.
Quick and efficient down the field. That's how you drew it up.
Lucas Smith on for the PAT. And it is up right through the uprights. He is now 31 for 31 on point after attempts. I know that's not a very far kick, Garrett, but being perfect as a high schooler on PATs, I feel like we got to give Lucas Smith a quick little shout out there, because that is quite the impressive feat.
You really do, and you have to think maybe we undervalue the point after. It can come down to a 1-point game late in the games, and having a guy can be perfect, that is very important for the St. Joe-Ogden offense. Especially
in games like this, where it's more than likely going to be a close finish. Against a conference rival, I mean, nothing is easy. Just ask SJO. Last week fell by 7, a game they had in the palm of their hands on a couple occasions, but just barely fell short to the Sages of Monticello to go to 4-2 on the year. Anything can happen in the Illini Prairie Conference. It's always one of the more fun conferences to follow around. It makes me a little sad because only 2 of those teams are in our coverage area for Clutch Sports Media. You know, we got about 30-something teams. Only 2 of them are in our coverage area. That's, of course, BCC and the Grey Ghosts of Illini Valley Central. But whenever we get the opportunity to do these matchups, I want to take full advantage of it. Fun conference to be a part of, and a fun start for the Spartans of SJO. Took him about 10 plays, racked up 5 or 6 first downs, and a nice rushing touchdown for Cody McKinney, his 7th of the year, as Smith is going to kick this one out of bounds. And the flag is thrown, so good field position for BCC. And right now, Garrett, it's all about how do you respond if you're the Saints after being punched in the mouth like that.
You have to march down the field quick and efficiently, just like St. Joe-Ogden did on their drive. And the Saints will march out here. Looks like Valshawn Powell will be under center for the Saints on this first drive.
They'll use him quite a bit under center to kind of wildcat formations. He won't always run the ball. He can pass the ball. He can do it all, if we're being honest, Valshawn Powell. He'll run, pass, a little bit of everything. SJO really packs the box with that front seven, and Powell's going to run to the right. Has really good blocking. Gets to the outside. Can anybody catch him? Unbelievable. Valshawn Powell. First play from scrimmage, rather. And it's a touchdown for the Saints.
65 yards. Central Catholic. Touchdown.
65 yards. As Powell takes the snap and takes it right to the house. We hardly had any time to settle in and get a good look at the Saints offense, but they don't care. Powell had 4 touchdowns in last week's game against Decatur St. Teresa, and picking up right where he left off.
You want to talk about explosive? That is what that guy brings to the field. On the first play of the game, that makes a statement.
Ben Dappin drills the extra point, and well, you want to talk about how do you respond to getting punched in the mouth? I think a one-play 65-yard touchdown is a really good way to do that as we get another good look at it here. Really, again, nothing crazy. SJO had the defensive scheme set up. Powell just outran everybody. Really, really good blocking from the right side of that offensive line. Whitworth, Vogel, Weisiger, all of them doing their jobs. Powell only needs a little bit of space to go a very long distance.
When you have speed like him, it is great to see you run down the field like that. 7-7 tie here, and we are far from being done with this game.
Just 9 minutes to go in our first quarter. Just a couple minutes into this game. Both teams have put together a scoring drive, although they really couldn't have been more different. SJO's was quick, methodical, chipping away on that no-huddle offense. BCC said, we just need one play. And we're knotted up. And Powell, the Illinois State commit, so he'll be staying rather local and playing his college ball at FCS Illinois State. I think the Redbirds are really getting a good one.
He looks like he can make an impact on any level. This level he's always making an impact. Illinois State is getting a great player.
And when he gets to put on that Redbird uniform, I am very curious to see what the coaching staff of the Redbirds is going to do with him, because he could play all these different positions. As a solid return here for the Spartans, they get close to their own 25. That's where they'll set up shop rather, and try to respond to that one-play touchdown.
I don't think you change your game plan here. If you're saying Joe-Ogden, you saw what worked last drive. Don't get too panicky because of what Bloomington Central Catholic did on their drive. You have to play your brand of football. You don't need to try to match your opponent in every single aspect.
Right, when you start overthinking it and try to get to the nitty-gritty, sometimes you can end up shooting yourself in the foot. Tight box here for the Spartans. McKinney sends a man in motion. Faked it to Blackburn Kelly, now goes to Lane McKinney, who has space down the left sideline. A lot of the outside edges seem to be very open in their early going here. Both teams taking full advantage of it. So another first down to start this second drive of the game for SJO.
It seems like we're saying that a lot. Every time SJO gets under center, they're getting a first down somehow.
Only been maybe 1 or 2 plays that haven't resulted in a first down. That's quite impressive to say at any point throughout a game. Now a fake pitch. McKinney's going to roll right. Has time and has space. Now he's just going to dump it off. And Riker Lockhart scampers to the sidelines and is pushed out. But it's plenty for a first down. Just rinse and repeat.
That was great by McKinney, drawing that linebacker towards him, getting the other McKinney wide open for an actual dump and chase.
In a motion again, McKinney's got one man next to him in the backfield. Looks over the middle, and he has a man again. Tim Blackbird Kelly breaks the tackle. Blackbird Kelly to the outside, past the 20, inside the 10. He dives out at the 7. A great tackle by the Saints, but inside the red zone once again go the Spartans.
That was a great play by Blackburn Kelly, breaking loose from that tackle right there. And great read by McKinney to give him the ball and let him work after the catch.
Blackbird Kelly, one of the leading receivers on this team. He's got 30 receptions on the year. McKinney is going to try to run it in like he did on the previous possession. Really nowhere to go that time, though.
Logan McKinney on the carry. Dylan Whitworth on the stop.
And Dylan Whitworth, one of the leading tacklers for the Saints, is there to take him down. Tackle number 23 on the year for Whitworth. He's been a very nice weapon to have right in the middle of that defensive core. Under center is McKinney, 2 men behind him. Fake handoff up the middle. He's going to roll right, looking towards the flat. Has nowhere to go. Evades 2 tacklers. Is still on his feet. Cuts back to the inside. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Caden McKinney, or Cody McKinney rather. Oh my goodness. Finds the end zone once more.
That is one of the more impressive plays you'll see ever, escaping pressure and getting in for his 2nd rushing touchdown.
I mean, how on earth did he keep that play alive? There was multiple different opportunities for him to hit the deck. Evades 1 man, evades another. And you could almost see the expression on his face. He looks at the middle of the field and said, I see nothing but white jerseys. I'm going to fight my way in there, and he did just that.
Great job by his teammates to stay engaged on the play, even though they got shut down.
Indeed. Got a couple guys to bite on the fake, surveying his options for 3 or 4 seconds. And he was probably thinking, oh no, I may be going down. And he did go down, but not before he reached the end zone. So 2 touchdowns for the Spartans, 2 rushing touchdowns for Cody McKinney. In a 13-7 lead for St. Joseph-Ogden. And a timeout on the play. Both teams in their huddles as we have an injured player in the end zone.
Looks like he is up and okay, walking to the sideline with assistance from the trainer.
Nose tackle Burke Blackney. The senior nose tackle walking off under his own power, seems to be all right. Lucas Smith back out there. But he's getting some deja vu. He was just a few minutes ago out here kicking a PAT. He drilled that one. And he hits this one as well. So 14-7, an offensive showing thus far from both teams. Back and forth we go. BCC scores on their first play from scrimmage. SJO has racked up, got to be getting close to double-digit first downs already, and 2 rushing touchdowns from Cody McKinney. And SJO's got the lead. Time once again for BCC to respond. And when the Spartans get out to these quick starts here, Garrett, I mean, we talked about it right before kickoff, 66 points across their, we'll make it 80 now, but it's 66 points coming into this game in the first quarter, 14 here tonight.
I think
It's incredibly hard to fight back against an offense this dynamic. They can get ahead and they can bury some teams.
And I think it's true what they say. If you stay hot, you don't have to get hot. And this team comes out hot out of the gate, scoring on 2 straight drives.
Well said, partner. And getting it done in the air and on the ground, and they've got roughly about 400 more passing yards than they do rushing yards on the year, but they're showing that they could do the both as Smith kicks this one away. And the Saints try and set up a good return here, and they're going to have it. Creighton Schneerly past the 30, still on his feet. Took about everybody in there to try to get him down, the big wide receiver. So pretty solid field position here for the Navy Blue. And really awesome, really awesome jersey matchup we have going on here today, Garrett. I like to point out jerseys. I'm a big jersey guy, but SJO, I can't get enough of the baby blue. It complements the maroon so well and the white. And then BCC, it's unmistakable in that conference. They're navy and gold. Really good-looking jerseys out there.
It really is. Those baby blues look great. We'll see what the Saints have drawn up on their first play of the drive. We'll see if it lasts a little longer than the last one.
Powell is back there to take the snap again. And he's going to run to his left. And evades 1 man, jumps over 1 man, and hits the deck at the 40. Very solid gain to set up second and short. Colton Overstreet, First one there to take him down. This is a solid secondary for St. Joseph-Ogden. Not the biggest physically, but guys that can make a lot of tackles, and it's going to take a lot of them. It's going to take most of them to try to take down Valshawn Powell throughout the course of this game, because he's going to be getting to that secondary quite a bit, if I had to take a guess. He's going to hand this one off, though. Connor Rave, who's had a very nice season, complimenting Powell in the backfield. Dives forward to set up third and very short. Rave, the 5'8" senior, 2 touchdowns and just under 200 yards on the year.
Third down and short for the Saints.
We'll see if they run the ball again. We have yet to see them air the ball out.
Yeah, Matthew Brady's still not out there. We're not entirely sure what the game plan is if Brady is unavailable. He was our player to watch, the quarterback, starting quarterback for BCC. He may not be playing tonight, trying to get word. And Powell just had a split second to dive forward, but he did it and picked up a first down. So the first down of the game that didn't result in a touchdown for the Saints. They'll now stand on the right side of their logo and continue the drive. Some substitutions here for head coach Sean Skinner at the helm of the SJO program. Shifting in some guys in and out. And all the Saints in unison look to their sideline, to their coach, Kevin Brott. And here's a handoff here to Creighton Schneerly, who gets past the 50. And he's hit hard by a pair of Spartans, Colton Overstreet and Lane McKinney, but not before he picked up a first down and many more.
Good tackle there, got low on that tackle. It's going to be hard to bring down a bigger guy like Schneerly in the open field.
Yeah, 6'1", 185, Creighton Schneerly, the leader in receiving yards for this VCC offense. But they'll send him in motion because he's got the speed to do so. Speaking of speed, here's Valshawn Powell, trucks one man, and the flag comes out. It was a pickup of maybe 1 or 2. Flag in the backfield, who's it going to be on? And it's going to be a hold on the offense. I figured with the flag being thrown in that area, it's usually going to end in holding. So that'll negate that play and make it about 2nd and 17 for the Saints. This may be a down where you want to go to the air. We shall see.
Be interesting to see. Valshawn got very physical on that play, so maybe give him a rest here. Let him air the ball out. Let these wide receivers work in the open field.
First and 20 for the Saints from their own 46-yard line.
2nd and 20 officially is where they're going to call it. Powell taking his time. Looks to the sideline once more, and the clock starts. Powell, Schneerly in motion. They're going to go back to Schneerly on the jet sweep. Tried to get to the outside, but was wrapped up by a slew of white jerseys. The first one there, Colton Overstreet, who's had multiple tackles already.
Second down and 15.
Good gang tackling there. Make sure they got him down. Didn't break loose for a big gain.
SJO's really got some guys that can make some tackles. I mean, Rosenthal, the linebacker number 33 in white, tied with Coy Hayes, another defensive back number 4 in white. They've both got 43 tackles coming into this game. So everybody can kind of gang up on the opposition and make their lives pretty tough. Powell fakes the jet sweep, lost his footing, and is hit hard in the backfield by Cameron Wagner. Big 6'6", 300 Cameron Wagner gets through the opposition, and that's a TFL.
Third down and 20 for the Saints.
We talked about him on the offensive line, but making a difference here on the defensive line, pushing the Saints back. It's going to be a tough third down for them. Got to see if they air it out here. They have yet to make a downfield pass.
Solid job by the entire SJO defensive line on that play. Jameson Ennis roughing his man up. 3rd and a country mile for the Saints. Powell is alone in the backfield. Now sends Schneerly in motion again, and the play is blown dead. And we have a timeout called by the Saints, as Coach Brott thought something needed an adjustment. Well, I mean, what do you go to here, Garrett? I mean, you have a lot of options. Probably not a lot of them are going to work too well, but Coach Kevin Brott really knows what he's doing. 4 straight playoff appearances for Coach Brott. He took over this program just a year after the Saints went winless, so he knows what strings to pull. There you see him. His 7th season, 4 straight playoff appearances, including an undefeated regular season in 2023. Just really impressive to have that kind of a leader at the helm of your program.
It really makes the players trust you and the people in the stands trust you and your play calling. And I think that really matters at this level. At the high school level, you've got to have trust with your players.
And just the sense of community as well. High school sports are helped out so much by their community across the entire nation. And his relationships with those outside of Bloomington Central Catholic helped as well. Powell drops back. He has 3 men coming right at him. Dumps it off to Schneerly. It's a big gain. It's not going to be enough for a first down. But Schneerly does get to the 40, and it's decision-making time for Coach Brott. It's going to be 4th and about 6 or 7, and we will see if Coach Brott's going to leave the offense out there.
They will be in their own territory here. It's going to be difficult to – could be a good chance to pin them deep for a punt, but I think at this point, you're down early. You got to make a statement here on 4th down.
I agree with, especially with how dynamic SJO's offense has been. And we have a late penalty came out, and it's a roughing the passer penalty. I did not see that flag come in, but roughing the passer is called on the Spartans. So now all that is wiped out the window. 15 extra yards for the Saints and a fresh set of downs. It's kind of an awkward play, a screen pass that was dumped off just in front of Valshawn Powell. But it must have been hit a little bit too late. .330 to go. Spartans up a touchdown and an extra point. Max blocking here for BCC. Powell takes it, runs right, has space, gets a couple blocks, goes right through one man. The ball comes out. Who's got the football on the opposite sideline? It's going to stay with the Saints, and a collective exhale from this side of the field here, Garrett. That would have been disaster.
That is panic mode for any coach.
Indeed it is. Ball came out. Had space. I thought he might get it to the outside and be able to take it all the way in, but ball was stripped out. And Coy Hayes was there to try to pick it up, couldn't quite grasp it. And there was a penalty on that play as well. It'll move BCC back, but I think you'll take a penalty over losing the football in that situation.
Every single time. Never want to turn over the football. Still a very explosive offense that we can see here.
Very odd down and distance. First down and 16 for the Saints. Was not on my bingo card coming into this game. And Powell fakes the handoff. Up the middle, now to the outside. Tried the stiff arm. Was brought down nicely by a pair of Spartans. So now 2nd down and about 10.
A little bit more of a normal down and distance than 1st and 16.
Indeed it is. BCC's they're trying to establish their identity here on the ground, and it's worked pretty well thus far. A 65-yard rushing touchdown from Powell on their first play from scrimmage, and he's leading a solid brigade here, and he continues it, jumping over a couple defenders, and is going to be taken down inside the red zone by Coy Hayes. More of the same from the superstar athlete. Fresh set of downs for the Saints. And as we approach the end of our first quarter, love to get some points up on the board.
That was a very physical play. Stiff arm and a hurdle. He's just spamming the controller out there.
Yes, he is, hitting all the buttons that he could think of. Another injury on the field. This time to a Spartan.
Girls basketball team gathered on the Heller Stores Alumni Lawn. Shop Illinois' best car dealerships. Heller Ford and Heller Chevrolet.
Good look at Coach Skinner there, coming out to talk to his guys and check on his guys.
On sale online at HellerStores.com. That's HellerStores.com.
I'm not quite sure if it's 1st and 10 or 1st and goal. I didn't have the best angle on where that ball ended up being downed. Regardless, it's not going to be far to go for BCC, as you see their huddle there. Exchanging some words. Yeah, and Matthew Brady's still on the sideline, helmet off. Padded up. Not sure what the game plan is if he is not able to play tonight, but we will get that information at some point. For now, back to football. 2 minutes to go. 14-7. The Spartans lead the Saints, but the Saints are threatening again. And here we go. Takes it, hands it off. And that won't go for a gain of much. Powell got the handoff that time rather than giving it. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but very solid defense. If SJF is going to contain Powell, they're going to have to meet him at the line of scrimmage, because you've seen already when he breaks one tackle or two tackles and gets into the secondary, more often than not, you can kiss him goodbye.
I think when you hit him with one person, it might power him up to get a little faster.
I think so too.
So we'll see what they have drawn up here. 2nd and 9 near the goal line, just outside of 2nd and goal for the Saints.
Man in motion. Powell runs right again, got a block. Can he evade the tacklers? He'll scamper out of bounds instead. Cut the distance needed about in half. But the Spartans able to get to the outside and contain the speedy quarterback. This sets up a big 3rd down here. You don't want the pressure to be on you, and with a 4th and medium, because you don't get it, then you turn the ball over, of course. You got to keep the offense out there at this point in the game. Yeah. Trailing by a touchdown, and the opposing offense clearly is eager to get back out there. You want to tire them out, especially you get these 3A schools. They're not going to have a full offense and a full defense full of completely different players. A lot of these guys, especially the linemen, play both ways, which isn't really anything new.
Spartans call a timeout.
And Spartans are going to call a timeout. 14-7 is your score. It's 3rd and 6 and a big 3rd and 6 once the timeout breaks. Options for BCC. Coach Brott and Coach Skinner talking to their respective squads.
Great job on the defense on that last play to make sure Powell got out of bounds. Obviously very elusive, but you want to make sure he can't cut back in and possibly trick your defense and get in that end zone.
And for the whole Spartans defense, I think that the message here for Skinner has to be you can't hesitate, because if you hesitate, Powell's going to blow right by you. You got to commit to a place and go to that place and try to contain them. And they've done a pretty solid job on multiple plays in this game. Lots of men around the line of scrimmage. Powell takes it, gets to the left. Just one man to beat. Shoves him to the ground. Valshawn Powell, a powerful touchdown, his 2nd of the game. He's got the crowd fired up once more. That was a more slow, methodical drive compared to the last one, Garrett, but nonetheless just as impressive.
He showed all of his strength on that run right there, fighting his way into the end zone. That 6'3" frame, 210 pounds, he showed all of it right there.
Fourteenth touchdown of the season for Vashon Powell, and the extra point from Dappin is good. So 2 great offensive drives that have resulted in 2 touchdowns. All the PATs have been good as we get another look right there. Powell gets a little bit of space and shoves Riker Lockhart to the ground, takes it to the end zone.
If you are an Illinois State fan and you're watching this kid, you got to be excited for his next 4 years with the program.
Makes me wonder how on earth do they recruit that well inside your area? You know, like it's the key to any good college program. You got to recruit inside your area or generally around where your university is located. I would just imagine there had to be a slew of colleges coming from outside of this area, outside of Illinois, to look at Vashon Powell. But to credit the Redbirds, they recruited him first, they recruited him early, often, and they got him. And yeah, I think it's going to prove to be quite the pickup just next year, as Powell will be graduating. Complimentary players on that drive as well were very important for BCC. Creighton Schneerly's had a very nice game, taking a couple of those jet sweeps. Team won't pass the ball a lot, but they've got a lot of guys that know what to do when they have the football. It was something Coach Brott said before the season when talking about his offensive weapons. He said it's a shame that there's only one football. Under a minute to go. And Dappin will kick this one away. Another good kick will be returned by Lane McKinney. And he is taken down just inside of his own 30. So Spartans' defense was out there for quite some time, but the offense back out there now looking to respond.
They have proven to be able to march down this field very quickly. That hurry-up offense, I think, might be throwing the Saints' defense off, having trouble getting set, and that's what really opens up those holes for McKinney to find in the receiving game and also in the running game.
That's right. You see it from multiple different high schools across Illinois, as it just don't really huddle. They're always going no huddle. When you get to rhythm like this, it can really work. Tim Blackbird Kelly's into a great rhythm. Across the 40 he goes with his 4th reception. And he has been McKinney's favorite target in the early going for good reason.
We're going to say it again. That's another first down for St. Joe Ogden. It seems like every play we're repeating ourselves, but that's just a testament to how good this offense has been.
Starting to sound like a broken record indeed. McKinney hands off. This is Wyatt Wirtz, who gets right to the Saints logo just in front of the 50. Enough for a first down. Or was it? Referees take one good look at it. Did he get there? He did not.
There's a
delay on the field as Spartans look to their sideline. And I thought they might try to run a play here before the first quarter comes to a close, but they elect to walk off the field, take a breather, and come back out. Well, that's quite the entertaining first quarter there from both sides, or both offenses. The Spartans got it. We are knotted up at 14. Everybody needs to catch a breath, even us broadcasters, after a wild first quarter like that. It really sets the stage for the rest of the game. We'd like to set the stage by telling you about Clutch Sports Media Overtime. Follow your school and the stories you care about. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit clutchsportsil.com. That's clutchsportsil.com for all of Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. Of course, we got football playoffs coming up. We're in week 7 of 9, so in the back third of the season here. Also, volleyball going on. We got golf going on. Playoff golf, that is, going on. Boys soccer. All of that and much more. Photos, features, stories, exclusive content, all available to you on Clutch Sports IL Overtime. Good Good look at the SJO huddle there, and just looking at the sheer size of Cameron Wagner. I know we mentioned it, but he's about, I don't know, half a foot taller than everybody else in that huddle. He really stands out. I watch a lot of college football, and I think he would blend right in with about any offensive line I've probably ever seen.
A lot of schools recruiting him. The one that gets him, getting a very special player. He's going to make an impact on the O-line for sure, for any Big Ten program or SEC program, maybe somewhere else. His journey's not over yet.
Just a junior here at St. Joseph-Ogden. He'll be playing here next year and making his decision before the start of next season. Here's Wyatt Wirtz, who's quietly had a very good game. He's tripped up. Hits the deck just shy of his 40, of the Saints 40 rather. Wirtz really racking up some yards, kind of giving McKinney a break when he's not the one running and throwing. Fake handoff here. McKinney looking deep, has a man wide open, and it's caught. Riker Lockhart is pushed out of bounds inside the 15. This St. Joe offense will not let up.
They're going to hurry back up to the line here.
Even on a big play, you know, you would think they would just kind of slug their way back to the line. Nope. Coach Skinner's like, everybody get back there. We got more football to play. Let's get this thing in the end zone. Then you could take a break. Wagner moves from right to left on that line. And so does McKinney, who gets to the outside. Now cuts back inside, evades one man, and goes down at about the 5-yard line.
He is making his presence known tonight. Cutting up the middle there. He is being complimented very well by his other running back. Just having that creation, that playmaking ability from your quarterback makes it really an easy game plan to make. I wouldn't say easy, but makes it more dynamic.
These true dual threat quarterbacks at the high school level open up so much offensively, and McKinney's in for number 3. Cody McKinney rushes to the left. Didn't have a ton of space, but didn't need it. Touchdown, Spartans.
And he has put up a hat trick in the first half of this game. That is insane. That is his 10th rushing touchdown on the season. How do you contain this guy?
I have no idea, partner. He's got to get up over 1,300 yards now on the season. Coach Skinner's got to be happy with that. He is just slicing and dicing his way right through this BCC defense. And Smith's extra point right through the uprights.
No surprise there. He's staying perfect.
Indeed he is. Just under 11 to go now in our first half. 21-14. SJO as we get a good look at Cody McKinney's 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, just out of the reach of multiple different Saints.
Great blocking by that line, by his wide receivers, by his running backs. I mean, you really can't undervalue the good blocking that the St. Joe-Ogden offense has. We know we focus a lot on Wagner, but there's other guys on that line that really make an impact and let McKinney really scramble out of the pocket.
Indeed, it's a collective effort, and if you don't have a whole solid O-line working together each and every play, then your offense is going to struggle. But no struggles here really from either offense. Coach Skinner and the SJO Spartans have to be ecstatic with what they have seen. And just think about what a win here could mean to this SJO program. They've got 4 wins, generally need to hit 5 to become playoff eligible. Certainly can do that. Tough test lies ahead of them for the last 3 quarters of this game, although they've lived up to it thus far, and they head up northeast to take on Seneca, an undefeated team, next week. So they got their work cut out for them. Seem to be doing just fine here under the Friday night lights in week 7. Lucas Smith's got everybody where he wants them. And boots this one away. That's going to shoot right out the back of the end zone for a touchback. That was a laser off the right foot of Smith. So decent field position for the Saints of BCC. Now heading the other way. BCC, of course, already secured their playoff eligibility, standing at a cool 6-0 record. Chance to go undefeated for the second time in the last couple of years. Offense back to work. Alshon Powell, hard count, now looks to the sideline. And they're just stacking the box. SJO knows exactly what's coming. And now run to the outside, a ton of space here for the Saints. And tripped up, a great carry by Connor Rave.
That was a great rush, also a great stop. You have a guy getting ready to go in the open field, tripping him up. Great tackle, way to get low, get him by the feet, and not try to get too awfully physical, get shrugged off by a big, strong running back.
Kind of an ankle tackle there. I think if SJO was unable to bring Rave down there at the 30, it probably would be dancing in the end zone right now, as referees are discussing something. And we have a personal foul that's going to go on the offense. So that good play is going to be pushed back, much to the chagrin of the BCC Saints fans in attendance.
It's going to be important to stay disciplined in this game, especially this close. You see the coach on the sideline talking to the ref.
Got to limit those. Coach Brott not happy. Just got to go out there and tell his boys, do it again. Said this time, don't commit a penalty.
1st and 20 here. Long way to go after that penalty. We'll see what they have cooked up here.
Under 11 minutes to go. The Spartans lead by 7. High snap. Powell held onto it. Now he's going to run it. And not much space. Maybe picked up one before he was pushed out of bounds by Jameson Ennis. And a flag comes out, I believe. A very late flag. That was thrown well after the play was over. And is this one going to go on the Spartans? Yes, it is. Late hit.
Well, we talked about staying disciplined. Got to do it on both sides.
Indeed you do. Back and forth we go. Personal fouls on both sides on this drive alone in these last couple plays. And we have another one. Another penalty on SJO. I believe somebody might have jumped off sides, but it's going to be an automatic first down. So the Saints really haven't had to do much, and they stand on their own 35. Plenty of time to do some damage.
Need to capitalize here on those mistakes. See what to do here.
Powell takes it, runs left. Tries to stiff arm a man, and he's going to have to get pushed out of bounds. Great pursuit job there by Logan Rosenthal.
He stuck with it, you know. A few stiff arms, didn't phase him. Still got him out of bounds. That's the toughness that I've seen out of the St. Joe Ogden defense so far in this game.
Indeed, and Rosenthal, one of the tougher ones on this defense. Just 5'9", 175, so undersized compared to Powell, but you would not know it by that play. He was not going to get pushed off to the side on that one, so second down here for the Saints, 2nd and 13 to be exact. Another fake handoff. Now he's got space up the middle, broke one tackle, and is brought down by Cody McKinney. But he got back to his own logo, first down and plenty more. The Saints really trying to start stringing some more offensive plays together and get back into the end zone to potentially tie this game up.
Powell's done a good job creating for himself, but also making himself kind of a decoy for his teammates. You know, with his threat, he opens up a lot of alleys for his other teammates.
They can lull you to sleep and then do something really different. This is something different. Powell's going to pass it out wide to Owen Cohen, his first reception, first target of the game. The 6'2", 190-pound senior Cohen has the catch. And a very nice pickup. Second and manageable for BCC as they look to the sideline.
A nice short pass there, but those can add up. And I think showing a different look, they've ran the ball a lot this game. Showing you can pass it too. Has to make that defense think a little bit more before they stack the box.
Powell won't do it much, but he does have a right arm and he does know how to throw that football. Sends a man in motion. And now fakes handoff, goes right up the middle, makes the man miss, past the 40, and will dodge out of bounds just before he reaches the 30. So another big pickup for Valshawn Powell.
Broke a tackle there, got loose in the open field. A lot of opportunity here. Saints on now the other side of the field.
Into enemy territory and plenty of time to make some more noise. Seems like every time I'm about to say that Powell is tackled, he somehow stays on his feet, and I got to recover just like SJO's defense does. But the Spartans do have the lead. Got to start containing this Saints offense. And here's a handoff. Plenty of room to run for Connor Rave. And he is brought down, getting past his own 30. Getting past the 30 of the Spartans, rather.
Good run there by the senior.
And phenomenal blocking. Wide receiver from the Saints got out there and got his hands on the opposition and just did not let up. Really, really solid blocking to open up more space for Rave, who's had himself a quietly really solid first half. 2nd and 7 with 7:40 to go in the first half. Powell runs right and stays on his feet and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Was there any positive yardage gained? It was close. Good, strong defensive performance his last couple plays from SJO's defense.
They are holding strong, not bending and not breaking against this Central Catholic offense. Very important to do that, stay tough, especially in these close matchups. Even though it's the first half, can never take any snap for granted.
They're giving up yards. They're just, oh, Powell's going to go deep. Does he have a man? Yes, he does. Owen Cohn from out of nowhere. His 8th catch of the season is a huge one. Touchdown, Saints. Wow, I caught everybody off guard. A beautiful, just dropping into the breadbasket was Powell into Owen Cohn, one of the better receivers on this team. And just like that, barring a missed extra point, the Saints will have knotted this thing up at 21 apiece. Right through the uprights, Benjamin Dappin. We are tied up at 21 as we get another good look here. This fooled everybody, including myself, as Powell had Rave with them. And right before he gets hit, lets it fly. That's right on the money to Owen Cohn, flexing the muscles, and he should be.
You talked about it earlier, partner. They can lull you to sweep with all these runs they play. But that play right there, fake the handoff, perfect throw. He's showing that dual threat right there.
They chipped away that entire offensive possession, Garrett. And we're getting solid yardage, but never had that big play. You knew it had to come eventually. Came in a huge way, getting them a touchdown. So, great total of 3 offensive possessions for both of these teams, and every single one of them has ended in a touchdown. 3 rushing touchdowns for the Spartans quarterback, Cody McKinney. 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown for Valshawn Powell of the Saints. Punch, counter punch between 2 of the conference's most dynamic players and dynamic teams.
I'm not going to bet money against the St. Joe-Ogden offense here. Electric.
Electric is probably the best word I would use to describe this atmosphere in this game thus far. And good spot to return this here for McKinney. And makes one man miss and gets to about the 35. Very solid return. I think good look here at Cody McKinney, Spartans quarterback. Touchdown number 1. Touchdown number 2 was probably the most impressive. Nowhere to go, made something out of nothing. And what do they say, 3rd time's the charm? Touchdown number 3 for the senior quarterback. And this play goes nowhere. Finally, some containment there from BCC's defense. It was big number 79, Bryce Smeltzer, the junior D lineman, the first one there for the tackle. 6.5 to go in this second quarter. His game's zipping right along. And so is Lane McKinney, who takes the end around and is decked after picking up maybe a couple. And this is what you need if you're Coach Brutt, and this is what you need out of your defense. A couple good defensive plays stopping SJO right around the line of scrimmage. And all of a sudden you have 3rd and medium and a chance to get the ball back with plenty of time to take your first lead of the game if they do so.
We haven't said it a lot. St. Joe-Ogden hasn't been on 3rd down. They got to make a statement here. Show it right here.
First time they're facing some pressure, SJO offense. Tim Blackburn-Kelly goes from right to left in motion. McKinney has time in the backfield. Pocket collapses. He gets out of there. He has space to run, and he's going to do it again. Trucks a man right near the 50 and got a first down and a couple more. McKinney getting it done with his legs again.
Not panicking when that O-line broke down a little bit, using his legs there, as we can see.
He had time, and then all of a sudden he didn't have time. Still made something out of nothing there. And an exhale for the Spartans as they do get the first down right at their 50. McKinney's going to roll right. Got to get rid of it. And it's tipped up in the air and intercepted. Intercepted by BCC. Listen to that crowd. Grier Pertz was there to hold on to the football after it was tipped up. An awkward play, but just what the doctor ordered for the Saints. You could see McKinney rolling right, thought he had a man. It's knocked straight up into the air by Valshawn Powell. And Pertz never took his eye off of it.
That is a statement from this Bloomington Central Catholic defense. They got to stop. They're in their enemy territory. Great chance to score here before the end of the half.
Well said, partners. That is exactly what they needed. They needed a stop of any kind. They needed some kind of defensive momentum, and that's about the best way you can get that defensive momentum. Speaking of momentum, here's Rave, who's really coming to his own in this second quarter. Got hit hard. Believe he got the first down. Yes, he did. Move the chains.
They look like a well-oiled machine right now on offense, making everything work. The run, the passing plays, they are few and far between, but when they do connect, it's a big play.
Turnover kind of came from out of nowhere. It's credit to BCC's defense. Defense can turn into offense. A high snap. Powell hands off to Rave again, who picks up about 3 or 4 before he is swallowed up by multiple white jerseys. The first one there, Jameson Ennis. And if you're SJO right now, your idea has to be contain, contain, contain. Don't get caught napping. Make sure you're moving quick.
Pretty similar position to where the Saints were when they passed the ball. Got to be careful. Can't be caught sweeping, like you just said.
Not going to pass it this time. Valshawn Powell skips past the 20 to about the 19 of the Spartans, and BCC really cranking up the heat here on the Spartans, threatening to take their first lead of this game as we approach 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
Valshawn Powell just showing how athletic he really is there. Breaking tackles, jumping over guys on the ground. He is a basketball player too, showing off that vertical a little bit there.
Now goes back to his right-hand man, Rave, who stays on his feet, makes one man miss, and he is in for 6. BCC on top for the first time. Short, simple, and to the point has been the entire MO of this BCC offense. They are now 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. That one, the first one, scored by Connor Rave.
That was a physical run, breaking tackles, getting to that end zone, making that turnover feel even more of a game changer.
Dapper right through the uprights. I am thoroughly impressed with these kickers. I know it's just PATs, but I really got to tip my cap. Both of them are perfect, and so is BCC's offense as a whole. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns, and a 28-21 lead as we get a good look at this one. Thought Rave was going to go down to set up second down and about 5 needed, but he's like, nope, I'm going to stay on my feet, take it in, and he gets a big, strong lift from Jackson Poppy.
That was a angry run. He looked like he was angry at the ground. Great play. Great drawn-up play, you know, coming off of Valshawn Powell, having the option play there, getting in a bite. Had people bite on Powell keeping the ball, opened up a lane for Rave there.
Now BCC's attention shifts back to defense. They got their first stop of the game on their last defensive possession. Ball tipped right up into the air. That was intercepted coming down by Grayer Pertz. They quickly turned that defensive momentum into offensive momentum, put 7 more on the board. And if they could get another stop here to end our first half, they'll have all the momentum, period, heading into the halftime locker room. Dapper lines up, and another very strong kick into the arms of the Spartans, and Lane McKinney right up the middle is tripped up. Very nice tackle there from Ryan Bonifant.
This is an important drive for St. Joe Ogden. They have to bounce back. They can't let that lat drive get to them. They have to still be aggressive. There's not a lot of time left in this half. They cannot let BCC have all the momentum winging in the second half.
Well, it's in the past is in the past. You can't do anything about it now, and you're still playing a really good football game. They don't have much to be upset about. That interception was kind of just bad luck. And McKinney steps forward, now has to get rid of it outside. How on earth did they turn that into positive yardage? A first down and a gain of about 15. Cody to Lane McKinney. And nearly into BCC territory. The Spartans start off their drive in a huge way once again with plenty of time to make some more offensive noise. They're not wasting any of that time. No huddle again. Saints pack the box. McKinney lets it fly just over the head of Tim Blackburn Kelly. The first time that that connection has resulted in an incomplete pass. So the clock stops, set up 2nd and 10.
I think it's a statement of this coaching staff. They're putting the ball in McKinney's hands. They're not going to let that interception get to him. They're going to let him keep on passing the ball. They got to have him a confidence play. That first play was a confidence play. A little high throw there, but
got to dump this one off again. Riker Lockhart makes a man miss and hits the turf at the 40 for another fresh set of downs. This is just fearless football, and you can play this type of brand football when you have a good quarterback, especially a senior one like Cody McKinney is. You know, if my quarterback had 1,300 yards, I'd probably trust him in just about every situation too.
We'll see what they do here. Another first down. Been saying that a lot, but this offense, outside of one singular play, well-oiled machine.
Can he look deep? Now he's got to roll right and look for anything, and he has a man hit up. Great defense by the Saints. An incomplete pass, Caden Lee, the senior defensive back, breaking it up.
Tough play there. Blackburn Kelly almost still came down with that catch, tipped it up to himself, just out of reach by a little bit. Great defense again by Bloomington Central Catholic. Moving to second down here, talking on the sideline.
Good route, and the throw was right on the money. Just better defense from the blue jerseys. 2:49, 2nd and 10 for SJO. McKinney looking over the middle. Got Blackburn Kelly who holds on. Sandwich between 3 BCC defenders. He holds on for a big pickup and finishes right at the 20 for a great gain and a fresh set of downs for the Spartans once more.
They are marching down the field very quickly with the passing plays, you know. Like I said earlier, this is confidence builders for McKinney. Now letting that interception get to him, he's still swinging the ball right over the middle of the field.
Blackburn Kelly's helmet came off on that last play, so he has to head to the sidelines legally. Lucas Waters comes in to replace him for this play. That was just blown dead. And there was a flag came out right before the ball was snapped. It's going to go on the Spartans, a false start. So some of that forward progression will be booted back, but still a good opportunity for the maroon and blue to do some damage before half number 1 comes to a close. McKinney takes the snap. Has good blocking. Now he's got to roll to his left. And he says, I'm just going to keep it. Gets inside the 30 to set up second and about 10. Did get out of bounds, so the clock does stop, I believe. Indeed it does. Right back to the line of scrimmage go the Spartans.
Good vision there by McKinney, rolling out of the pocket. Feeling the pressure, but he gets out, makes sure he doesn't get hit too hard, gets out of bounds. Gives the breather for the St. Joe-Ogden, who's been running hurry up pretty much this whole game.
Indeed they have. Gets just a couple extra breaths. 2nd and 13. From about the 23, McKinney's going to hand this one off to Wirtz, who spins right through the defense. Now gets to the outside, and he's in for 6. An incredible run. Wyatt Wirtz, his first touchdown of the game, and the Spartans fire right back again.
He shook off that tackle, spun right out of it, and got right in that end zone. That is an impressive run.
That is awesome. He is hyping up the crowd on the opposite sideline, and he should be. That was, I mean, we've seen a lot of impressive runs in this game in this first half. That might have been the most impressive. That spin move was straight out of Madden. And Lucas Smith drills another extra point. And what do you know? Another touchdown, Garrett, 28-28. Just look at this. There's 3 or 4 blue jerseys around him. He makes all of them miss and then has the vision to cut back, recognize that he's got Riker Lockhart blocking for him, and gets to the outside, tumbles in for 6.
That is a great response. After a stalled offensive drive last time, you were passing the ball that whole drive, and that one run, they break free. So just good offensive game planning right there. Doesn't get much better than that.
First touchdown scored by the Spartans by somebody not named Cody McKinney. Wyatt Wertz, if he can come into his own, you know, kind of similar to his counterpart Connor Rave, you get these secondary guys coming in, you know, your third, fourth offensive weapons coming in. If all of them can make an impact, you're really going to start putting the hurt on the opposition's defense. And we know both these teams have the resources and the talent to do just that.
Just under 2 minutes here. Be interesting to see how BCC runs this offense. 2-minute drill, obviously. A lot of runs we've seen from them. Might have to pass a little bit, get out of bounds down the field.
With just 2 minutes, and BCC's only passed the ball a couple times throughout this game. They might have to go to the air a few times to try to get themselves into scoring position. And here's a return, a very nice tackle. And late flag comes out on the opposite sideline at about the 25 is where that ball was run out of bounds by the returner. And who's the flag going to be on? BCC thinks it's on the Spartans. Referee trots towards the middle of the field.
Personal foul indicated against the Spartans.
Another personal foul on the Spartans will be added to the end of that return. A late hit. 4 drives and 4 touchdowns for the Saints of BCC. Quite the offensive showing, and they've done that time and time again, week after week. They've got just under 2 minutes to put together another one, but they do have both timeouts. Powell runs right. Picked up a couple yards, still on his feet, spinning and fighting his way to make it second and short. Saints can't waste any time here as we approach a minute and a half. Coaches on the Saints sidelines are very frantically and emphatically giving them the signals they want them to do. 2 men join Powell in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Rave. Picked up a couple, looked like it was enough for the first down, and it was. Clock stops while they move the chains. You got to think with minute 17 now to go, you got to go to the air at some point, don't you, Garrett?
You got to. It's a 2-minute drill.
They're going to do it here. Powell has nobody open, and he's going to make a very wise decision and throw it towards the cheerleaders.
Great pressure there by St. Joe-Ogden to get on him. You got to be expecting a pass. Obviously, this is a running team, but with this little of time left in this half, got to expect them to try to air it out. They did there. Just nobody got open in time.
Yeah, that was I don't hate the play call at all. I think on play action and sending guys deep, you've shown the ability that you can complete big passes. Owen Cohn caught one in the end zone for the Saints' 3rd touchdown. Didn't work out, but the clock does stop. Back to the ground goes Powell and the Saints. And he is tracked down from behind by big Cameron Wagner and multiple other white jerseys, but another solid pickup. Now under a minute to go. Saints have got to pick it up. They've got both timeouts. When will coach want to use them? Not going to do it here. It looks like 3rd and 4. And running now to the outside with a little bit of space is Owen Cohn. Not a huge game, but he did indeed get the first down.
Owen Cohn on the carry. Inside the 40-yard line.
The Saints will call their first time.
Wisely, I knew they had to call it at some point. I was looking at Coach Brutt surveying if he was going to give the ref the T symbol, and he did indeed. He wisely calls a timeout. So everybody has a chance to take a breath. 30 seconds to go. We're knotted up 28 apiece, but nothing but touchdowns. Offense, offense, and more offense. What's that one saying? The best defense is twice as much offense? I think that reigns true here today. But it's an entertaining brand of football, partner, and this is exactly what we were expecting and exactly what we were wanting on the drive out to Bloomington.
Coming back on the field here. 30 seconds left, like you said, partner. Be interested to see if they air it out here. And it looks like Valshawn Powell will not be under center for this play.
Very interesting strategy. What do the Saints have up their sleeves? Swung out right. It's a trick play. They're going to hand it off to a lineman. One of the more interesting plays I've ever seen. Kashawn Manny, the junior wide receiver, took the snap, threw it out wide to Creighton Schneerly, who then just very casually handed it off to the right tackle, Xavier Vogel, who at 6'2", 230 pounds, Garrett, I think he made a pretty athletic play there.
That is one of the most interesting play calls I've seen in a while.
Not something I was expecting to see coming into this one, but it's 2nd and 6, and it was entertaining. Here's a run to the left with Creighton Schneerly. Picked up a couple to set up 3rd and manageable. And do we have another timeout on the field? Looks like we do. As there's a Spartan that's slow to get up. Both teams will head to their huddles.
Be interested to see what they draw up this time out of the timeout. Maybe they'll throw it to their left tackle.
At this point, with how this game has gone, I don't really think anything would shock me with 19 seconds to go in our first half.
Bloomington Central Catholic did have a kicker warming up on the sideline if it does come to that, but obviously looking to punch in a touchdown, not having all that momentum going into the second half, going into the locker room.
And it was a BCC player that was down on the field. Frank Ellis. He seems to be all right, walking off under his own power. And this is a pretty long field goal for the high school ranks. Ben Dapper's had a very solid game kicking the PATs, pardon me, but I'd be surprised if Dappin trots out there to try to kick a field goal.
Looks like Valshawn Powell not under center again, coming out of the timeout.
It's Kashawn Manny, who's 1 for 1 on completions. Can he make it 2 for 2? No, just barely overthrew Valshawn Powell, who was out in the flat. So now it's 4th and short. The clock stopped in a decision to make for Coach Brott.
I think at this down and distance, you got to go for it. It's going to be a tough kick for a high school kicker here. We'll see who they have under center. Rolled out right, just through the hands of Powell there.
This would be close to maybe a 40-yard field goal if they were to try it out, but they're not going to. Manny is staying out there. He's alone in the backfield. 3 men to his left, 2 to his right. Now sends 1 in motion. He's going to keep it. Kashawn Manny had a little bit of space. I think he was stopped before he got there. What's the call going to be? Indeed, he was stopped. Fantastic job by the Spartans defense. Standing tall and standing strong is going to keep this game at 28 apiece, barring something crazy.
Just great defense from that line. Breaking through, getting to Manny. We'll see if there's any late heroics here.
2 timeouts in 9 seconds. I would think you just take a knee, given where you are in the field.
It looks like there's an injured Spartan on the field.
Yeah, another player down on the field. Couldn't quite catch who it was, but everyone seems to be all right. Both teams head to their huddles. Talk about how they're going to play out these last 9 seconds of the first half. $28 apiece. A wild first half of football on ClutchSportsIL.com. We thank you for joining us. Wherever you may be, if you're a Saints fan, Spartans fan, or anything else, if you're just a high school football fan. like me and Garrett are, I think you're pretty happy with your decision to tune in tonight. And we thank you for joining us wherever you may be. You are in for a treat in half number 2. And BCC's got the football again. Looks like they brought the chains out while they were attending to the injured player, and they gave the first down to BCC. I completely missed that. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I also did not see that.
It was very nonchalant, and Coach Skinner wants an explanation. He is out there at about the 30, talking to our referees. He wants to know, how does BCC still have this football?
St. Joe-Ogden did trot their offense out there, and
they went to the sidelines, their defense celebrating like they got the stop. It looked like they did get the stop from our vantage point. But the call overturned, and it's a first down for the Saints. Coach Skinner says, I'm just going to call a timeout, use it or lose it. BCC's got 1 remaining in 9 seconds to go about 27 yards.
You got to imagine they're going to the air here. So little time. They do have a timeout left, but you don't want to risk it.
You could run up the middle with power, rave, try to get a couple, then call timeout, then shot to the end zone. Or if you're confident in Dappin, maybe try to kick the field goal. A couple ways you could go around it is they put 11 seconds back up on the clock. But it's going to be tough.
Empty backfield for Powell.
And Spartans aren't really going to rush anybody aside from Wagner. And getting rid of it to the outside, a perfect play call and execution. Getting out of bounds was Creighton Schneerly.
And it will look like they're trotting out the field goal unit here.
Alshon Powell just threw an absolute bullet. Gets out of bounds, clock stops with 7 seconds to go. And you are right, partner. They're going to try to kick the field goal to go up 31-28. Caden Lee will hold it. Benjamin Dappin will kick it. But first, Coach Skinner is going to try to ice him.
Great play there by the Saints. Ball put exactly where it needed to be. Great job by the wide receiver to get out of bounds there. Now it's up to the kicker. He's been warming up for a while now, ready for this moment. St. Joe-Ogden's got to break through that line, try to get somebody off the edge here.
You wonder how often they practice field goals at the high school level. I'm sure it's fairly often, but you just don't think about it too much when watching high school football, especially Class 3A, albeit these are 2 of the better teams in Class 3A across the great state of Illinois. So a quick timeout. Dappin's going to line himself up again. It's from the right hash.
A little less than 25 yards to boot here.
About 24-ish. Here we go. To put the Saints up 3. Good snap, good hold. Kick is right on the money, like he's done it a million times. That was impressive, and the Saints are hyped up. They retake the lead, 31-28. Very smooth field goal from Ben Dappin.
I think we undervalue the kicker, but that was a very important kick. That shifts the momentum back to Central Catholic, going into the locker room. I mean, there is a little time left on the clock, but I'd be surprised if there's a massive downfield play for a touchdown from St. Joe-Ogden.
And with the way this game is going, Garrett, I think it's safe to say we're going to look back on that field goal as potentially a huge play that could potentially win the Saints the game or keep them in it. Going to have a wild second half on tap for you on the other side of halftime. I think we were underestimating Ben Dappin a little bit as well. I did not think they were going to try him out there. The way their offense has been playing, I think they were just going to take the shot towards the end zone. Probably in the air, but Dappin went out there like a pro. There he is.
Be interesting to see if St. Joe-Ogden tries to return this. So little time on the clock. Probably just a fair catch. Try to make a big play downfield.
Could try to return it and try some trickery a little bit. Seen that from the Saints on that last possession. Haven't seen it from the Spartans yet. Tim Blackburn Kelly and Lane McKinney are back, but it's going to be a squib kick that's picked up by Coy Hayes. Has himself a solid return, but it won't matter too much. And everybody take a breath after a wild, high-flying, action-packed first half. Our halftime score is 31-28. This is about as entertaining of a football game as we could have asked for, Garrett. And starting with SJO, you have to be happy with the offensive play if you're Coach Skinner. It's all coming together very nicely. So just overall, what is the idea? What's he going to say to these boys in the locker room in the next couple minutes?
They have to stay consistent on the rushing attack because McKinney's already got the hat trick on the ground from his rushing and then adding on another rushing touchdown. They're late. It's very important to stay in the running game.
It's important as well to try to get more people involved. Caden McKinney has been phenomenal. 3 rushing touchdowns on his own and has passed probably for over 100 yards. Tim Blackburn Kelly, his favorite target in the air, and Wyatt Wirtz a rushing touchdown on that beautiful spin move. And on the opposite side for Bloomington Central Catholic, didn't have a lead until late in that second quarter, and then lost it and kicked a field goal to retake the lead at 31-28. And for the Saints, you got to be happy again with your offense. You just got to clean up some things defensively and maybe find more and more ways to move this ball in the air, because I think Coach Skinner's halftime is going to be spent making defensive adjustments. What do you want to see more of from the Saints in half number 2?
You know, I thought their defense did a really good job closing out that quarter. I think that interception that led to them having the lead for the first time in this game, that's big. You've got to build on that. Their offense is doing great. Valshawn Powell is making a statement with his runs. He's having great backup too. So the defense has to keep on stepping up. They're going to be making the difference here. It's a 3-point game. They got a hand strong.
Every possession in this game but 2 has ended in a touchdown. We had 1 field goal and 1 turnover. Other than that, it's been a bunch of guys celebrating in the end zone. Your halftime score 31-28. The Saints lead the Spartans. As we send you to break, don't go anywhere. More halftime analysis and second half action coming up on Clutch Sports Media.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams,
Your stories. Your stats and standings.
your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds. CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action. More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome back to Bloomington Central Catholic. Your halftime score again, 31-28 on what has been a phenomenal Illini Prairie Central matchup thus far. Speaking of phenomenal, the atmosphere in here is great, and we're going to step aside for just a few more minutes to let all you at home enjoy some sounds of the stadium from BCC. back on ClutchSportsIL.com. For Illini Prairie Central matchup, it's the Saints of BCC leading the Spartans of St. Joseph-Ogden 31-28 on a wild back and forth, offensive heavy, touchdown heavy first half. And if it's anything, if the second half's going to be anything like the first half, Garrett, we are in for a treat, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I think it's going to come down to the defenses. I mean, this offensive have shown that they can score. It's up to the defense to stop them.
Taking a look at the highlights of this first half, to which there are plenty. A lot of them on the ground. This one a quick hitter outside. Lane McKinney making his way past the defense. There's been a lot of that. Also a lot of this. 3 rushing touchdowns for Cody McKinney. Alshon Powell, of course, making his presence known. That was the first play for the Saints from scrimmage. A 65-yard touchdown to knot things up at 7 after the PAT. This one a wonderful throw over the middle. Tim Blackburn Kelly has had a great game. He's been the best receiver out there so far. Looked like on this one, Cody McKinney was going to throw another dart. Instead, he makes 2 men miss and says, I'll just do it myself. Into the end zone for another rushing touchdown. There's beautiful defense there from the Spartans, but Alshon Powell would not be denied on the next possession, but lost the football. A great run, and it gets stripped away from him. BCC is able to recover, though. And Powell, with one of the most textbook stiff arms you'll see, scores that one. SJO fired right back, though, with, what do you know, a rushing touchdown from Cody McKinney. Connor Rave faked the handoff to him there, and a beautiful drop right into the breadbasket of Owen Cone, the only passing touchdown of this game for either side. McKinney lowering the shoulder there at the tail end of the second quarter. This one he rolls out right. Pass is deflected right up into the air, and just candy for the taking for Greger Pertz. The only turnover of the game thus far. Number 3, that's Connor Rave, who's had himself a very nice game on the ground as well, complimenting Alshon Powell. Perhaps the best play of the game overall was that video game spin move from SJO running back Wyatt Wirtz. So 3 touchdowns for Cody McKinney, 1 for Wirtz for the Spartans. And so we'll take a deeper dive into our first half statistics. 5 possessions for each team and 4 touchdowns for each team as well. Only 1 turnover. It was the interception we showed you a brief moment ago. And the kickers, you were just talking about this, Garrett. Kickers having themselves a great game. You got to give them credit where credit is due. No kick has been missed.
It feels like when they trot out there, you know it's going through those uprights. We got to appreciate the kickers. It might come down to them in this game. The extra points come together, and that field goal to end this first half for Central Catholic could be the difference in this game.
Indeed it could be. It's something we take for granted and just not really something you ever think about, is having a kicker that's just going to be automatic at the high school level. And BCC emerges from their locker room about ready to go. And the Saints, they're up 3. They've had incredible offensive performance this game, but they are no strangers to good offensive performances. As we take a look at their schedule, the remaining schedule throughout the rest of this season, they are sitting pretty, 6-0. You can't possibly ask for more than that. And if they can pull off this tonight, Garrett, I think they've got a real solid chance against Pontiac and Prairie Central. 2 solid teams, but 2 teams BCC should beat. So if they can pull off this win against SJO tonight, we are very possibly looking at another 9-0 season for the Saints, which would be their second one in the last couple of years.
I think the most important thing is to stay locked in, not to play down to your competition. They have to keep playing their brand of football.
Pontiac Prairie Central certainly have weapons that can hurt you, but the Saints got to feel good about it now, although albeit they're probably not looking forward too much to those games. They got more important games here tonight. And on the flip side, the schedule for the SJO Spartans, they're at 4-2. A disappointing loss a week ago to the Sages of Monticello, and then a week 4 took a tough loss to their biggest rival, the Rockets of Tolono Unity, 40-10, in this conference's biggest rivalry. But Looking ahead, still very much in this game tonight. This would be the most impressive win on their resume, for sure. Tough test again next week. Another undefeated opponent, a non-conference opponent, taking on Seneca, and they will round out their season in SJO, taking on Pontiac. So this is, despite what happens tonight, I think this is a playoff-bound SJO Spartans team, and regardless of what seed they get, if I'm a class in 3A, this team would be a nightmare to face in the first round of the playoffs. How do you possibly even prepare?
I mean, you got to watch the film. You know McKinney can hurt you on the ground, but I think he's shown his arm off too, all throughout this season. We focus so much on the running game for them. Their passing game, I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit. I think their quarterback's such a dual threat, there's really no way to stop them consistently.
Indeed, he is a true dual threat quarterback in every sense of the term, and I think if the oppositions could figure out how to contain him at some point in some way, shape, or form, they would certainly have a lot more success on the defensive side of the ball. But BCC has yet to show that. Just one interception, but 28 points allowed. 3 of those were via Cody McKinney, all of them on the ground. And there is Valshun Powell, number 6 in blue. He's had himself quite the game as well. Multiple touchdowns for him, 2 of them on the ground and 1 of them in the air. Showed off that he can indeed pass the football. He's not scared to do so, although they don't do it very often. Now let's talk halftime adjustments. I mean, there's quite a few things that these coaches could point out. I would think, and you know, just let me know if you agree or not here, Garrett, the number one thing in that St. Joseph-Ogden locker room had to be, how on earth are we going to contain Valshun Powell in the run game?
100%. He's been a thorn in their side all night.
He's going to the left, going to the right, going up the middle, taking things slow, taking things fast. You got to just start sending everybody at some point to try to contain Valshun Powell and get the football in somebody else's hands, albeit there are plenty of weapons on the Saints outside of Powell. We have quite the second half on tap for you for Bloomington Central Catholic. The Saints will receive the opening kick of the second half. Extra words of encouragement for Lucas Smith and his special teams squad. Dalton Carmine and Garrett Oliver coming at you from the booth. Ready for some second half action. We appreciate you joining us wherever you may be. Kick is another good one from Smith. That's going to be caught by Creighton Schnurley. He's going to run left now, cut back up the middle and get hammered. The rest just before he reaches his 30-yard line. And that's where the Saints will set up shop. Looking to pick up right where they left off. The only possession they've had that did not end in a touchdown ended in a field goal. So they will look to keep that up. And what adjustments Coach Skinner make in that halftime locker room?
And the thing is, it's not always Valshun Powell lining up under center. We've seen Keyshawn Manny under there too.
Keyshawn, who hasn't had very many snaps at quarterback in his career, but he's thrown a couple darts. More of the same here to start the second half. Valshun Powell tumbles forward and pick up of about 11. 1 play, 1 first down to kick things off for the Saints offense. Spartans were able to take him down before he could get past everybody. Good blocking and a good run to start things for BCC. Powell has 2 men with him in the backfield. He's going to hand off to Rave. He's going to be up over or close to 100 yards, I would think, on this game by the time it ends. That one was a solid pickup.
Looks like the game plan has not changed. They're running the ball right up the middle, and it looks like Valshun Powell is down on the field. Trent going to come look at him.
Indeed he is. He hit the deck and has not gotten up. He's sitting straight up as the trainer comes out and shares a word with him. And while he's being attended to, take a look. The legendary Sean Skinner. He was, not only is he a great coach that's really taken this SJO program by storm, but he's an alumni class of 1991, head coach since 2016. The 25-10 record is good wherever you are, whoever you're coaching, and Skinner was on one of the best SJO football teams of all time. It was 1989, fall 1989. Coach Skinner was an offensive lineman on that team that finished state runner-up. Believe it or not, I'm also pretty familiar with another player on that 1989 team. Shout out to my dad, Brent, star wide receiver on that 89 Spartans team. So shout out to you, Dad. And back to football here. Second and short.
Valshawn Powell off the field for this play. It'll be Keyshawn Manning under center.
I'm very curious what Coach Brott saw in Keyshawn Manning in practice, that he was comfortable enough to throw him out there as a quarterback, but it's worked like a charm. That time, just a nice, easy inside zone right up the middle. Connor Rave picking up where he left off. Wasn't a huge gain, didn't need to be. First down, Saints. And being not only a coach for quite some time now, but also a player, and a good one at that in his high school days, Coach Skinner's been in this situation many times before where he's got to make defensive adjustments. And he's got to identify what is going wrong for his defense. They've done a solid job containing so far. BCC hasn't broken off a big play in a while. But they keep chipping away as Coach Skinner is going to make some adjustments here.
There's a Spartan down on the field.
Another player down. Can't quite see who it is right on the logo, but Coach Skinner's going to come out and check on his guy. Big 71 Keegan Page is checked into the game. They're still down on the field.
Kind of an awkward tackle there. Kid tried to go over the top. Bunch of Spartans met him. Awkward position to be in if you're at the bottom of that pile.
Indeed it is, and you just never know with how many bodies are in there trying to stop a run or trying to stop really any play in football. There's always a lot going on. Stuff can get stepped on, bruised, kicked. And slow to get up, but walking off under his own power is the senior Jonathan Moore. We hope he's all right as he makes his way to the sidelines for further treatment. Saints have the football. 2nd and 8. They are just barely into SJO territory. At about the 48-47. Dropping back, man, he throws a dart over the middle, and it's caught for a first down, still on his feet. There goes Nate Roberts. First time we've called his name, but he is a big 6'5" matchup problem. And the first reception for Roberts is a big one, first down and many more. And I think if the Saints can get their passing game to kind of show up, SJO could be in trouble. In the blink of an eye, they flipped the field.
He took that hit like a pro. Threw that defender off him, gained a few more yards. He's going to be hard to bring down.
High snap, Manny takes it, now hands off to Rave, who breaks one tackle, fought his way back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got one. And Valshawn Powell still not out there. Taking a break, it seems, on the sideline with Keyshawn Manny. The 6'1", 150-pound wide receiver, the junior, has getting some reps in at quarterback and has looked like a natural.
It's that next man up mentality right there. Stepping in this role, he's doing good so far. He's showing why the coaches trust him.
You just never know in the game of football when your name is going to be called. Now running to his right is Manny, slipping through the defense. And he's tackled from behind by Logan Rosenthal, but not before he got close to the first down marker. Did he get it? Probably third and very short. Referees converge to discuss. It's third and maybe 1. Third and 2 officially is where they're going to put it. Got a new guy taking the snap here. That's going to go for a gain of about 5 yards. Very nice, just quick grab and run from Caden Lee. And back into the game comes Valshun Powell. Caden Lee picked up the first down on that last one, and Lee was responsible for getting his hands on that pass from McKinney earlier that ended up being intercepted by Greyer Pertz. He makes his mark on the offensive side now, and speaking of making marks on the offense, Powell is back in with 2 men with him. He's going to hand off to Rave, who jukes a man and tumbles forward for a gain of a couple.
It'll be interesting to see how Powell recovers from being on the trainer's table, see how they use him, maybe a little bit more conservative, try to keep him healthy for the next few weeks.
Certainly a storyline to follow along. He's involved in pretty much every single offensive play. To all of a sudden go and stop and take a break like that could mess with him, but I think he may just be too much of an athlete. Big number 6 in blue takes it now, following his blockers. Fights his way inside the 5. He stayed on his feet. Somehow, some way, found his way to the end zone. Touchdown number 4, Valshun Powell. A good look at it here. That's just great job by this senior to not get too far ahead of himself. He's following his blockers, surveying his options. And even when he's going down, Garrett, he's not going down. Spinning around, staying on his feet. The poise, the speed, the confidence just gave the Saints 6 more.
You know, I was maybe eat my words there. I said maybe they won't get involved. He just showed me that is a great play.
Don't think not being involved is even in Powell's vocabulary, and it shouldn't be. Another extra point is drilled through the uprights by Dappin. And the first double-digit lead for either side this game. The first lead that is more than one possession, if you will. A 38-28 lead it is for the Saints of BCC, who have clearly figured something out. The Spartans' offense continues to struggle holding them down. And you got to think this is, without a doubt, the biggest offensive possession for St. Joseph-Ogden. I think if they get stopped here and don't come away with any points, then their backs start to get pushed up against the wall. However, they have shown the ability to score very, very quickly. They need to do it here. Need to respond just like they did in the first half.
This is a statement drive, I would say, for St. Joe Ogden. You know, if you don't respond here, like you said, backs against the wall, but you got to take momentum away. You got to kind of wear out the guys who play both sides of the ball for Bloomington Central Catholic here.
And this place is rocking. It's only gotten louder and louder. So credit to the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints cheerleaders. The sheer amount of cheerleaders they have is quite impressive. I will say it's just school spirit right there, as that kick is blown dead before the ball hits the turf. Are they going to bring it back? Referees are going to have to talk about it. I don't see any laundry on the field, but I believe somebody on the Saints budged just a bit too early, maybe. Or maybe the ball wasn't steady, meaning they have to come back and do it again. Yeah, somebody budged too early. Offsides is the call. So we'll have to do it again, and that seems like a small play, but it could end up being very beneficial for SJO because they're going to gain a lot more yards on this kick. Dappin will have to kick it a little bit farther, and I think he's comfortable doing so. And Lane McKinney and Tim Blackburn-Kelly, 2 men back there to return it once more for the Spartans. They've done a very nice job on most returns. It's a very short kick. It's going to skip into the arms of Lane McKinney. He's got space, scampers towards the middle. Nearly got to the 45, so good field position for the Spartans. Lots of time, lots of opportunities to do some damage. As McKinney just a little bit slow to get up. And Spartans have faced adversity plenty of times before. 5 times. 5 times, Garrett. They have made it to state championship, have not yet to get that elusive first state title, but they have made it 5 times, and they think they have what it takes to go back there this year. Been quite some time, but this is a program I'm very familiar with. As a St. Thomas More alum myself, I'm familiar with the Illini Prairie Conference and St. Joseph-Ogden as a whole. It's just a tremendous school for all athletics. Football is no different. Winning is kind of just the culture there in SJO. McKinney over the middle, has a man, it's caught. And towards the 45 into enemy territory go the Spartans. The first reception of the game for Braden Waller, the 5'9 junior.
No hesitation there to get the ball out by McKinney. That is what you want to see out of your quarterback. He's confident in his throws.
He sets his feet and just throws a bullet. Tried to do it there, but he is sacked. The first sack of the game. A phenomenal job by Owen Cohn getting into the backfield and making his presence known.
He came off that edge unblocked and lit him up. That is a big play for this Central Catholic defense.
And all of a sudden, you're looking at 2nd down and 16. That is just a rare missed block by the Spartans offensive line. Credit to Cohn for getting there. Fake handoff. McKinney's gonna look deep. He's still got it, running around, got to get rid of it. And he throws it towards the sidelines. He was nearly sacked again, being hounded by Burke Blackney. So clock stops at 6:24, and it's 3rd and very long. SJO is going to have to get to Ogden if they want a first down. McKinney alone in the backfield, it looks like. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Sends a man in motion now. That's Tim Blackburn-Kelly moving from left to right. Drops back. Has space, has time. He's just going to dump it off. A quick underneath route. It's a very solid pickup. Lucas Waters, his first reception. Did he get the first down? I don't believe so. Good pickup for the Spartans. 4th down, SJO is going to keep the offense out there on 4th and 3. No hesitation. McKinney's got it over the middle. The pass batted down. Phenomenal defense from the Saints, and they are fired up. Turnover on downs.
This defense is gaining momentum at a hot rate, coming off that sack, and then a deflected pass here.
Just a great job by the defensive front of the Saints. Big number 79, Bryce Smeltzer, got his paws up in the air and disrupted it. So phenomenal job by the Saints defense to give their offense some momentum with solid field position. starting on their own 36-37, give or take. Powell is out there to take the snap. He's got Rave next to him with no surprise. The play will be blown dead before the ball is snapped as the Zebras want to talk something over. Did someone budge on SJO? I did not see a flag, but on the far side, Creighton Schnurley sure thinks that the Spartans budged, and Schnurley is right. So free yards for the Saints. Not a mistake you want to make at this point in the game for SJO, but you need to get your bearings straight right now. Just like that, into Spartans territory go the Saints.
They have all the momentum right now after that defensive stop. They're going to capitalize on it here, I got a feeling. After that penalty, Valshawn Powell might have something a little special cooked up here.
This is probably the only time in the game where the momentum has firmly been on one side or the other. Saints have it all right now, and that run game is just relentless. Here's a great pickup. Having a nose for the extra yardage is Rave. Cuts the distance needed for a first down in half, roughly. Second and medium. Second and 4 to be exact. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also at this point in the game, probably a little bit too early to be thinking about it, but the clock is your friend. If you're Bloomington Central Catholic, up 10 with the ball in opponent's territory. They haven't necessarily been insanely fast in between plays like SJO has, but now that's going to work in their favor. Fake handoff, Powell up the middle, and he's wrapped up by a bunch of Spartans. Coy Hayes, one of the leading tacklers on the Spartans defense, was the first one to get his hands on him. Did he get the first down? It was close. Third and about 1. One of these times, Garrett, I think on a short distance needed for a first down, PCC truly could shock everybody and go with a pass, but I don't know why you would risk that at this point in the game. As John Tay Powell, the 6', 305-pound guard, checks into the game. They're going to just go right up the middle, aren't they? Yes, they are. Powell goes right, jukes a man to the outside. Kiss him goodbye, Valshawn Powell again. Touchdown, Saints. (44-28) BCC. I am running out of words here, partner, to try to describe the impact Valshawn Powell has had on this game. Also running out of fingers. What is that, 4 or 5 touchdowns? I'm really starting to lose track. He has been all over the field. And the PAT attempt was botched. Thrown to the end zone. It's going to be a 2-point conversion. The snap was botched, and Caden Lee just picked up the ball and chucked it towards the back of the end zone, where the Saints had a man standing wide open. What on earth? It was Frank Ellis, the 6'5", 180-pound wide receiver out there for special teams, found himself wide open in the back of the end zone. So it is now 46-28.
We were talking about how these kickers are automatic, but what about the arm talent there? Rolling out of the pocket, that snapper, receiving the snap, botched it a little, but no panic in them. Found a guy wide open, and 2 points is better than 1.
Indeed, it is, partner. 46-28. And if the Spartans don't respond and do it quick, could be some trouble as we get another look at the 5th touchdown of the game from Valshawn Powell. 4 on the ground and 1 in the air. And the botched snap on the extra point attempt. Gained the lead, just is like, someone's down there somewhere. I'm just going to throw it. And SJO lost track of everybody. Gives up the 2-point conversion. So it incredibly weird end to that offensive possession, but with how this game has gone, nothing's really going to shock me for the remaining 4 minutes of this third quarter and the fourth quarter as a whole.
It does feel like this game has been flipped on its head in the second half. Bloomington Central Catholic came out of the locker room hot, but I'm not doubting this St. Joe-Ogden offense. They showed great flashes in that first half, and I think that's still out there on the field.
Just could not convert last time on 4th and short because the Spartans turned it over on downs and gave up another quick touchdown to Powell, but the Spartans get the ball back. No need to hit the panic button yet. Only down 16. That's only 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. They just need to revert to what they were doing in the first half, and they'll put points up on the board quick and then go try to figure it out on defense. Crowd is alive and well from BCC. And another short squib kick is going to be received by SJO. Coy Hayes again. A very nice return and good field position for the Spartans. And Coach Skinner is probably telling his boys in his huddle, everyone take a deep breath. This game is not over. Plenty of time, and we know we can put points up there as quick, as efficient as anybody else in the conference. It's time to go prove it like we did in that first half. McKinney alone in the backfield to kick off this drive. Now sends a man in motion. It's a quick little under toss to Lane McKinney, who has space. He's had himself a great day in the backfield and pushes his way towards the first down marker, and he got it. So 1 play, 1 first down, just what the doctor ordered for the Spartans.
This looks more like what we saw in the first half. First down after first down. They're moving quick.
Quick moving parts, putting men in motion, going under, going over, passing, running. Blending it all together is the MO of this SJO defense, and it has worked like a charm. As that run up the middle won't go anywhere, the defensive front for the Saints stays strong. And Blakeney was the first one there for the tackle. Pickup of 1 to set up 2nd and 9. And a fake snap here from Cody McKinney. One man joins him in the backfield this time. Fake handoff to Wirtz. He's going to swing it out wide to Lane McKinney, and he is past the 40. But again, good defense from the Saints, as Grayer Pertz and Dylan Whitworth were both there to take down McKinney. Just like that, 3rd and medium with the Saints player still down on the turf.
I think it's important they play their brand of football here on this 3rd down. I know last time they couldn't convert, but I think they had to put it in the past now. You got to have a goldfish memory as a quarterback or any player on the football field. It's going to have to show here. You're going to have to make a stand.
Goldfish memory. I might have to steal that one, Martin. That was a pretty good one. I couldn't agree more. What's in the past is in the past, and they've shown the ability to score the football with the best of them. 1st down, 3rd down, 2nd down. Any down, they got to be ready to play their brand of football, like you said. And you don't need a touchdown on this play. You just need about 7 yards. As Owen Cohn, heads off the field. And the Saints and Spartans head to their huddles, take an extra second to get some hydration as the referees discuss something over. And now we're ready to get back into action. 3rd and 7 and a big 3rd down. Spartans need a conversion. Find a way anyway to get 7 yards here. And was there a penalty just called?
There's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Spartans.
We have a very late unsportsmanlike penalty called against SJO. That is not what you want to commit in this spot. I didn't see anything at all. But someone did or said something that the referees did not like. So a late flag comes out. That's a personal foul. Makes it 3rd and 22 for SJO. And now there aren't too many options. You have to go to the air. You have to take a deep shot. Spartans need a massive play here. And McKinney's going to get wrapped up from behind. And he hits the deck. Nate Roberts coming off the edge. Disaster has struck the Spartans. And BCC's defense steps up in a massive way.
He came off that edge like a lightning bolt. Got there. Broke free.
And McKinney was looking left the whole time. Roberts was able to get past one man and track him down, not let McKinney bounce out to the outside like he's so good at. And is this the first punt of the game? Period? For either side, I believe, partner. I can't believe I'm saying that with a minute and 45 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, but it's a good punt that takes an SJO-friendly bounce heading towards the 10, and it'll stop right there. So a really nice punt from the Spartans. Sets up their defense, but the offense of BCC has been just a juggernaut all season long, and they're one of the better programs when it comes to offense and just when it comes to football in general. Across Central Illinois, a 4-time state champion, albeit haven't won one since 2008, but a couple in the 80s, one in the 90s. There's a tradition of winning in both of these programs, and Coach Brott certainly has established more and more winning, more and more consistency every single year. And it would not shock me in the slightest if this Saints team is playing deep into November. Here's a run up the middle for a gain of a couple. And now this is where I expect, as Ray was the ball carrier, this is where I would expect, Garrett, BCC's probably taken the foot off the gas in terms of running their offense quickly. Now you can really start to slow things down, up 16 as we approach our 4th quarter.
You don't want to give them too much time. They have shown that they can score quickly, but I think BCC is in control. They have to keep this momentum on their side.
Don't want to, throw a deep pass, risk throwing an interception, or incompletions are just going to stop the clock. So probably a lot more runs with Powell and company. He keeps it here, gets to the outside, lowers a shoulder, still on his feet. Still on his feet. How does he keep doing this? Powell somehow gets a first down, and he's pushed out late. That's going to be a late hit penalty on Coy Hayes, I believe. Another flag comes in, and the referees are going to have stuff to sort out, as there's also an injured Spartan in the backfield.
What an impressive play by Valshawn Powell. And I think some emotions are running hot for St. Joe-Ogden, which led to that late penalty. You can't be caught hitting that late on the sideline.
A lot to dissect on that play. 38 seconds to go. Referees are going to have to talk about a lot. There's injured Spartan in the backfield. I believe 2 flags on the play. There was definitely a late hit out of bounds on the Spartans, but if the second one, if we're talking a personal foul on BCC, those would offset as we await the call. Both of them are going to go on SJO. It was the late hit, as we said, partner. Also, an unsportsmanlike conduct is going to go against the Spartans. So that is just a crusher. As Paus broke about 5 tackles, was eventually wrenched out of bounds and brought hard too aggressively by 2 SJO Spartans. So just like that, into Spartan territory go the Saints, with help from 2 personal fouls on the same play. And they are threatening to really, really put SJO against the wall here. And you just can't be happy with that if you're Coach Skinner and that staff. You got to control your emotions and make sure you don't make those types of plays in a game that looks like it could be a tight finish. However, you live and you learn. The game's not over. Keep playing hard-nosed defense. Handoff, Rave. Tried to slip through a couple defenders, couldn't do so, but did pick up about 4. Saints, of course, in no hurry with 24 on the clock. They may just trot to the sideline and call it a quarter. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Coach Brock doesn't seem like he's interested in calling a play. Can't say I blame him when the clock is your friend in the manner it is right now. So when we come back, it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 41 for BCC. They're threatening to score again, and they lead it 46-28. And I'm expecting to see a lot more in the fourth quarter of what we've seen a lot in this game, partner. A lot of runs, but while we have a moment, give you the rundown of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, the place to be as we approach the end of this football season. Follow along on the other fall sports as well. Volleyball, golf has headed into playoffs. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit clutchsportsil.com. That's clutchsportsil.com for all of your fixins of Central Illinois sports. One of the best times to be a sports fan in Central Illinois. 3 weeks to go now in the football season. We're going to have all the written, video, audio, picture coverage that your heart could ever desire. Can't recommend it enough.
Number 930-239. Come on up here, claim your prize. 930-229, $65 a week.
Fourth quarter about to begin, 2nd and 5. Powell with the usual suspects next to him in the backfield. Give to Rave, who just fights his way forward. Every time Rave is touching the ball, he's picking up a couple. And if they could keep that up, this game's going to be over very quick.
He is fighting for every yard he can. And just keep running it up the middle. Don't feel the need to bounce it outside. You got to keep this clock running. Like you said, the clock is their friend.
And the offensive line for BCC, number one, they got to be getting tired. It's getting late here, and with them running basically every single play. As here's a deep ball headed to the end zone. It was underthrown. The intended receiver, Creighton Schneerly.
I think they were trying to catch the SJO defense off guard. Like we've been talking about all day, they are a running team, but past there, a little trickery, but just a little short.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call at all, especially, no harm, no foul. Only thing is the clock stops, but that's not too big of a deal. Better than an interception or a silly penalty. 2nd and 10 now, 11.5 to go in our ball game. BCC and SJO. The Saints are looking good, up 16 and threatening again. Powell's going to keep this one. Gets a great block. Now headed towards the corner pylon, and he is eventually tripped up. A great tackle by Lane McKinney just saved a touchdown.
I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He can create anything. And jumping over a defender there, he is an athlete, the purest athlete you could be, jumping, speed. He has the throwing power. We saw it. This Central Catholic offense is so dynamic because of him.
It's just taking a lot of the energy and a lot of the resources of the Spartan defense to take down that man, Alshun Powell. And he runs again. How about another touchdown? That may have been his easiest one of the day. He is racking them up. I think we got to be at, 5, 6 touchdowns for number 6 in blue. But regardless, he is just a one-man wrecking crew out there. And all of a sudden, 52-28. The Saints are in complete control. Trot out the PAT team after the last one was botched but recovered for a 2-point conversion. Much easier for Dappin to kick that one. And it's good, 53-28 with still 11 minutes to go. As we get another look at this one. Nice and easy, just plenty of blocking, plenty of space. Powell didn't really even need to think about that one. Crowd's still into it, to their credit, as this game gets more and more out of hand. Both sides, I mean, a pretty strong contingent, I would say, from SJO made the trip up to Bloomington. It's not a short drive, but plenty of the Spartan faithful come out to support their guys. BCC fans are much happier at the moment, as they're well on their way to win number 7 here in week 7. And if you're SJO, kind of what do you think the message here is to the team from Coach Skinner here, Garrett? Because you got to score and you got to do it now, but how do you do that?
You gotta pass the ball. I mean, it's obvious they're starting to stop the run here, so you got to pass the ball. You got to try to get McKinney to throw the ball in the air, downfield. You got to make big plays quickly. You don't have the time to mess around with the run. And I know that the run has been very effective for them, but right now that's not really the game plan you need to have.
Lane McKinney again on the return. Has space, a burst of speed across the 50, and he's going to get close to the 40, the best return of the day for either team. That's a great way to start a drive for SJO. And I agree, I think you got to go back to the air, but if you're BCC, I think you got to kind of counteract that. You got to notice, you know, they're down a lot. They're probably going to start passing the ball more. We should probably start sending more pressure, which really worked that last possession where they picked up both of their sacks that they have in this game. Roberts and Cone each picking up a sack.
They have come out of that locker room from halftime. This defense looks completely different than from that first half. They are getting a lot more pressure on the quarterback, and they're shutting down the run pretty well.
Indeed they are. There's a penalty, a late penalty on SJO again. Missed what the call was, but it's going to push them back. And now here's a run to the right side. Wyatt Wirtz. Solid game as the halfback for the Spartans is pushed out of bounds. And they want a late hit or an unnecessary roughness. It's going to come out way late. Who is that going to be on? The Spartan fans wanted it. Didn't get it initially. Did they get it eventually is the question. We await another call from the referees. And it is going to be a personal foul, late hit on BCC. So the Spartans will take it. At this point in the game, Gary, you got to take any yards you can get. Penalty or run, pass, any of it. As we get another look at it here. Just a little bit too much contact after the ball carrier was pushed out of bounds. And a timeout on the field now.
I think it's, we talked about it with St. Joe-Ogden when they had their late hit. I think both teams got to stay disciplined. I think Bloomington Central Catholic can't get complacent here because they're up so much.
Here's a good look at Valshun Powell, and it's Matthew Brady there in the white hat. Superstar quarterback who was out tonight. Haven't seen him in this game. Whopping 6 touchdowns for number 6 in blue. 5 rushing and 1 passing. Spartans have the ball in great field territory. As Wirtz takes the handoff, a burst of speed, another beautiful spin move. He's wrapped up by Lee, a touchdown-saving tackle. But regardless, a really nice run, and the Spartans not wasting any time. This is what they need to do. Get the ball in the end zone quick. Right back to the line of scrimmage they go. Right back to Wyatt Wirtz they go. Couldn't get around his own man, and he's going to be wrapped up by a bunch of Saints. Jonte Powell was there.
Wyatt Wirtz on the carry. Burt Blakeney and Jonte Powell on the stop.
Blakeney there for the tackle as well. And we have a quick timeout. 30-second timeout will be called. Pardon me, timeout for injury is on the far sideline, close to the pylon. Another player is down. BCC is going to stay out there. They're ready to play some more defense. SJO elects to stand on the 20 and talk about what's next. Need to probably get into the end zone on the next couple plays here.
And I think the question is, if you score here, do you maybe go for an onside kick?
I think you absolutely have to. You can't, the way that BCC is holding on to the ball and running it, the amount of first downs that they're getting, I think you have to do an onside kick if you can get the touchdown here. You can make it a 36-53 ball game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. If you recover an onside kick, anything could happen, but they got to score in this possession first. As the injured Saint, Nate Roberts, walked off the field.
So after a short break, we're going to get back into it here.
2nd and goal, we'll call it, for the Spartans. A lot of things they can do. Whatever they do, gotta hope it ends up in the end zone if you're a fan of the Spartans, shifting around that line as they do. Running it is McKinney. This time couldn't get to the outside. A nice strong tackle. Creighton Schneerly. And McKinney's slow to get up. He's taking a beating. When you have a quarterback that runs and passes as much as he does, you're going to get hit sometimes. He took that one like a champ, though. And at the end of the day, he does have 3 rushing touchdowns his own. And a late flag again. We have another personal foul. It's going to be a face mask against the Saints. So that's going to push SJO way up, as there are just flags after flags after flags in this 4th quarter. Getting a little sloppy, but it's still entertaining nonetheless. And SJO will take that. It's yards. It gets them closer. They're not going to complain. Automatic first down as well, so 1st and goal. With now under 10 to go in the ball game. A quick little pitch here to Lane McKinney, who dives. I don't think he got there. Owen Cohn was there for the tackle. Glad to see him back in the game. 2nd and goal, and just inches needed for the 5th touchdown of the game. For the Spartans, can they get it here? It looks like maybe a little tush-push action. And he did not get there. The Saints stay strong. They're able to keep McKinney out of the end zone. Just brute force, size, and strength on display there from the Saints. And no option for the Spartans other than to leave the offense out there. So 4th and short, need to get it into the end zone. McKinney rolls right, and he dances his way in. There's a flag in the backfield. McKinney made a great play and got into the end zone, but it's a holding on the Spartans. Indeed, holding on SJO. Landon May, the guilty party. So we're going to have to redo 4th down. SJO, of course, will go for it again. But it's going to be much, much, much more difficult this time, needing 11 yards.
Just a little sloppy play there. You gotta stay disappointed, especially down here by the goal line. And if they don't convert here, that penalty is really gonna sting.
You can wipe it away if they can find a way into the end zone here, but it's going to be difficult. One man joins McKinney in the backfield. That's Wirtz. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to look left, now roll left, running out of time. Still on his feet, and he's dragged down. The ball's intercepted. It's picked off by Manny, who's running down the sideline. He's turning on the Jets. Can anybody catch him? No. Keyshawn Manny, 89-yard pick 6.
That was a beautiful play.
Well, you want an exclamation point on an unbelievable performance? There you go. The defense has stepped up in such a huge way, and that holding penalty on the Spartans just comes back to shoot him in the foot. McKinney was somehow still on his feet, tried to make a pass, was hit from behind, and Keyshawn Manny looked like he was more focused on just breaking the play up, as he should be, but the ball falls in his hands, and he's one of the quicker players on the team. None of the Spartans could catch him. It's an 89-yard pick 6. And Dappin drills another extra point. His right leg's got to be ready to fall off. 60-28. We get another good look at it here. His quarterback is being hounded by Burke Blake, and he tipped into the hands of Manny. And it was goodbye. No one even touched him to get these Saints faithful up on their feet one more time. Exclamation point, icing on the cake, cherry on top, whatever you insert metaphor here, Garrett. I mean, this is quite the way to end a phenomenal performance from one of the state's best.
This second half by this BCC
unbelievable.
Team is one of the best halves of football. Complete football, offense, defense, both sides of the ball, special teams. I mean, we can't undervalue that enough. I think that great defense, great pressure from the line, great in the secondary too.
It has all come together in this second half, and this is going to make a huge difference because, I mean, this was anybody's ball game for the first 2 quarters. Without a doubt, it was a coin flip in my eyes. Both teams were playing very well, but both teams needed to make adjustments. And as soon as we get to third quarter, whatever words were said in the halftime locker room by the BCC coaching staff, they have worked like a charm. Just a phenomenal second half performance. I agree, one of the best I've ever seen in one half of football from any high school team in Illinois. And this matters because it was, like I said, it was anybody's game, but looking at the score now compared to what it could have been, if this is a 10-point game or less, that shows the rest of the Illini Prairie Conference that even if BCC won the game, that they're vulnerable, they're beatable. SJO almost got them, so they could be beat by somebody. But this is flipping the script right now. If you're the Saints, you are putting the beat down on a really, really good counterpart. Another good look at the man of the moment, Keyshawn Manny. Plays receiver and defensive back, got multiple snaps in at quarterback with the absence of Matthew Brady. But just made the biggest play of the game thus far, that pick 6 that was nearly 90 yards. SJO will set up their offense at their own 35. And they got to go quick once again. Handoff Wirtz. The blockers get out in front of him beautifully, and he's tripped up, dives forward, and picks up about 5.
Still running the ball here with about 8 minutes left here in the fourth. I mean, that is their play style here, but I think at some point, I know he threw an interception, but I think you got to go back to the air here if you want any chance to pull this game into reachable.
At least making the score more respectable. A 29-0 run in the second half for the Saints of Central Catholic. It is just all Saints putting it together defensively and especially putting it together offensively after it was anybody's game through second quarter. SJO got off to a fantastic start. Only took them about 8 plays. Most of them resulted in first downs for them to get the ball into the end zone, but BCC right back, not wasting any time. Their first play from scrimmage was a 65-yard touchdown for Valshan Powell. And that was the first of what is now 6 touchdowns for Powell. That's right, did not misspeak. 6 touchdowns for Powell. And a 60-28 lead for the Saints, with now under 8 to go after another injury timeout. McKinney threw out wide. That man's had himself a very nice game. Tim Blackburn Kelly, one of the better receivers in the conference. He certainly deserves a shout out. McKinney again, really good blocking once more. Throws again to Blackburn Kelly. So 2 straight throws to Blackburn Kelly results in a first down. Or was he out of bounds? Indeed he was. A good throw, good catch. Blackburn Kelly's left foot was on the line.
A lot of moving parts here.
2nd and 6. SJO might try some new stuff. With the game out of reach, McKinney steps up and has nothing there. Now runs back and he is decked. Pressure gets to him again. Owen Cohn, his 2nd tackle for loss of the game.
This Saints defense is so impressive this second half. Just the pressure they're getting on the quarterback. Their secondary shutting down any passing play.
There was really hardly any pressure on the quarterback for SJO, Cody McKinney, pardon me. There was hardly any pressure on him in the first half. Beautiful pass again to Blackbird Kelly for a first down. They convert on 3rd and 11. But to my point, there was not a lot of pressure on Cody McKinney in that first half. I just thought it was more, to the credit of the SJO offensive line. There's really no pass rush success from the BCC defensive front. And I wasn't shocked by that because, of the size and the skill that SJO's got on their offensive line, but they figured something out. Can he try to dump it off to Lane McKinney, but it hits the turf. So the clock stops with 6:38 to go, and we have another injured player. Roberts is down again.
Hit a little awkwardly after the play. O-lineman came in, kind of tripped over him.
Been a lot of that. Awkward landings and whatnot. It's kind of an injury-riddled game. Everybody's gotten up and walked off under their own power, luckily. As we hope Roberts does the same here. But you're going to get that when you get a good physical football game. Roberts still being attended to as we get a good look at the defensive front for the Saints that have been so good in this second half. And Roberts is helped up to his feet. And will be helped off the field. Didn't really see exactly what happened, but we hope he's all right.
very important late in this game. Got to remember there's 2 more regular season games left and the postseason. Don't want to get your starters too overworked in a game like this. I know it's still important to prove that you're out there and you're winning the game, but you also got to consider the future.
Maybe the Saints will celebrate some of that Kona Ice. That's one of my favorites there, Garrett. Kona Ice has made an appearance under the Friday night lights. Look at that. That sounds phenomenal right now. But back to football. McKinney under pressure just dumps it off. And a nice little run there for Logan Umbarger.
Logan Umbarger on the reception.
Third and short, 3rd and 1. The McKinney boys next to each other in the backfield. Cody dumps off to Lane, who's got a couple gaps to run through. He runs right through him. He has had himself a fantastic ball game, both as a runner and a receiver. But a good tackle there by the Saints. Flag in the backfield. This one may be coming back. Illegal block at the back, or holding, or something of the nature, I believe. And it is indeed holding against SJO. So no first down. Instead, 3rd and 10. Just under 6 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter, 60-28. Another flag. This 4th quarter has come to pretty much a standstill with the flags. This one is on BCC. Someone was offsides. Five and a half to go in the ball game. Here's a deep ball over the middle that was nearly picked off. Would have been the 3rd interception. McKinney threw it hard, but couldn't get it to the intended receiver. And now 4th down and 10. And what do you think, Gary? You just go for it? You got nothing to lose at this point, really.
Nothing to lose. You got to go for it. Maybe try some new plays out. That was a tight zone coverage there from the Saints. Not a lot of holes to find there. He tried to force it in there. Hard throw. Good throw on target, just Saints defender got in there and broke it up.
That's one thing about Cody McKinney. When he throws it with authority. And right on cue, a bullet right in between about 4 different defenders. Was that ball caught? Looked like it was by Riker Lockhart. So a pickup of 7 will be a first down for SJO. Beautiful, right into the window. McKinney's still making plays like that and racking up stats. This one nice and easy on the out route. Tim Blackburn Kelly on the reception.
They're still moving the ball pretty efficiently. Just a few plays that got broken up just hasn't allowed them to really put a solid, lethal drive together.
And it's surprising because that's exactly what the entire first half was for SJO. It was solid, strung together drives.
That's a first down for the Spartans.
And all my credit is going to the BCC defense and their adjustments they made at halftime. McKinney throws a deep ball diving attempt by Riker Lockhart. Phenomenal effort. Couldn't quite get there. McKinney again looking to the end zone, just barely overthrew Blackburn Kelly. Another incomplete pass. Saints secondary not letting up anything easy.
And to the credit of the St. Joe-Ogden offense, they're still going for it. You know, they're not laying down and taking it. They're gonna shoot for that end zone, and I think that's important. You know,
You
don't quit.
might as well. This one swung out wide to Blackbird Kelly. That's a hard hit. Right when he comes down with it, he's hit hard by Keyshawn Manny.
Fourth down.
Nothing to lose here. Go for it again.
I say keep taking shots to the end zone, honestly. This has been a solid drive. Some of the stuff's been negated by penalties. And another incomplete pass. And that was 4th and 13, meaning a turnover on downs. A nice defensive stand once again from the Saints in this fourth quarter. Now I would think a lot of the backups got to be in for this offensive drive. No reason to risk injury with your starters, and also just get some guys some reps. This is one of your last home games, especially those seniors. Get them in there. Help them get more comfortable because, you know, you talked about it earlier, partner, that next man up mentality. You never know when you're going to be needed, especially with the playoffs around the corner. Everybody's got to be ready, so as well get some new guys some reps. Looks like that's what they're going to do. A handoff here. I believe that was Schnurley.
Alcorn on the carry. Second down and 6.
Second down and 6 now after pick up of 4. (60-28). It's a score, more than likely what it's going to end at. And Powell is back in there. He's going to take a snap. And hand off to Aiden Alcorn. Another valuable running back that can come in and get plenty of snaps for the Saints. And a fresh set of downs for the Saints.
First down.
Clock's still ticking. Under 3 minutes now.
No reason to be in any hurry here if you're the Saints. Might as well just run this one out. They got the first down as well. A couple more handoffs to Alcorn, and I think they can head to the locker room, start celebrating what is a dominant, eye-opening victory for a team that didn't have too many eyes left to open. Aiden Alcorn's opening some eyes from out of nowhere. Alcorn to the house. What a run for 23. Aiden Alcorn on just his third carry of the ball game takes it 67 yards to the house.
Well, we thought maybe they just run out the clock, but when you got a wide open field like that, why not take it?
I mean, if I'm Alcorn and I'm in the game, I'm going to try to take it to the house every single time. I don't blame the guy at all. And the kick is up and good. 28-67 is now your score after the extra point is kicked. Alcorn, the junior running back, doesn't get a ton of carries, but 30 carries, about 250 yards on the air, his 5th touchdown of the game. And he took it 67 yards to give them 67 points. And the Bloomington Central Catholic student section is loving that both of those happened.
Well, when you score 67 points in a game, I mean, what's not to celebrate?
I mean, I would definitely be celebrating too. I mean, what an offensive performance it is as the deficit is getting closer to 40.
I mean, I think you have to sit still on 67, even to get the ball back.
I agree, yeah. I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did. I think we got to just chill out. I mean, they'll be on defense. SJO will take a couple shots towards the end zone, as they should, I would think. We have seen it all here tonight, partner, but what an entertaining football game. The second half from these Saints. Another short kick. Looks like it's headed out of bounds, and it is. As on the sideline, the right tackle, Xavier Bogle, tried to make a one-handed grab. Couldn't quite do it. We did see him get the football earlier in this one. One of the weirder plays of the game. As we get a good look there at Aiden Alcorn, the junior running back, after that 67-yard touchdown. He's got to be feeling good about himself.
Some new names in for the Saints on defense, but still the same message. Got to make a stop here. Finish this game out strong.
Offense at the 41-yard line.
And here we go, yeah, and indeed lots of new guys in for SJO as Umbarger is dragged down. I think that's either a face mask or a horse collar. Whatever it was, don't think it was legal. Automatic first down on the face mask penalty.
Face mask against the Saints. Brings the ball into Saints territory at the 43-yard line. First and 10 for the Spartans.
And after putting up 28 points and 4 touchdowns in the first half, SJO has been scoreless the last 30 minutes. We'll try to get some points up on the board in some regard. Umbarger's a good guy to do that. A burst of speed, taking the defense right on and getting inside the 15. An impressive run for Umbarger off the bench. Got plenty of carries himself, 75, about 400 yards for the sophomore running back. He's going to be a huge key part of the offense, I would think, next year and beyond. Here he goes again. He's got some serious wheels on him.
Logan Umbarger on the carry again. Second down.
Another nice gain there.
2.
Another quick play, and a flag comes way in from the back referee. And someone might have budged early. That one came out right when the ball was snapped. And we have holding on SJO to push him back. 1:07 to go. All Saints.
Ball marked to the 15-yard line. Remaining second down. And about 12.
Hand off again to Umbarger. Feed the hot hand. And he goes right into a slew of blue jerseys and pushed his way through a couple of them to get close to the goal line. An opportunity here for SJO to punch one in. Feel just a little bit better about themselves heading into next week against Seneca. Their one non-conference game of the year, as all Illini Prairie Conference teams play. One non-conference game a year.
Logan Umbarger, no gain, second down and goal.
Pickup of maybe one there. Second and goal with 25 seconds. The crowd's getting a little restless. They want to officially cheer after a victory. They'll get the chance very soon. Did Umberger fight his way in? It was very close, but I don't think so. He did not. Third and goal, and SJO, are they going to try to get one for the road? Yes, they are. With 5 seconds, they got to do it on this play. And it looks like they did. Touchdown, Logan Umberger. No, I take that back. Holding on the offense. So Umberger's moment is denied, and I believe that is going to end the game unless they're not going to end it on a penalty. They will end the game. So at long last, BCC rides a smoking hot second half to defeat St. Joseph-Ogden 28-67. And there's quite a few places we could start when discussing this game, Garrett, but I think I want to start with the BCC, like lots of positives, an ungodly amount of positives and stuff that they can take with them into the next few weeks as the fireworks rain down on the field here. But how about that defense in the second half? That's amazing coaching, coming out there, identifying exactly what went wrong and fixing it.
Yeah, I mean, going into the locker room, you're only up by 3, and a lot of possessions scored, so.
Indeed, and there was 4 touchdowns on, I think it was 5 possessions for SJO in the first half, and the Saints come out, and they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they did it to their credit. And for SJO, this is, you know, the score got away from them there at the end, but it's not, at the end of the day, the worst loss ever, because BCC is a really, really, really good team. We're talking top 5 team in Class 3A as they have shown today. I think SJO is still a playoff-bound team, and moreover, a team that can make some noise in the playoffs. Would you agree?
I very much agree. I think this team showed a lot of great flashes in that first half, and I think this offense is still very explosive. But, you know, putting together a full game, you know, that's something they got to focus on next week. 2 games left in this season to become playoff eligible. Well
said on all fronts, my friend. And before we end tonight's broadcast, we'll take another look just to remind you about Clutch Sports Media Overtime. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or visit us at clutchsportsil.com/overtime. It's clutchsportsil.com/overtime for all the coverage you could possibly need for your Central Illinois sports. So we approach football playoffs and volleyball, golf, and everything in between. On that note, any just overarching final thoughts that you have for us here, Garrett? I mean, what a game from the Saints. SJO that might be hurt by this loss, shouldn't hang their heads too much. Just overall general closing thoughts before we wrap things up.
Valshawn Powell is going to be a monster in college, and staying in town, these Central Catholic fans have to go out to a couple ISU games to come root this kid on. And I don't think St. Joe-Ogden should hang their head, especially Cody McKinney. What a great game. You know, put up a hat trick in that first half. Nothing to hang his head about, you know, 2 rough interceptions, but he's going to bounce back next week.
For sure he will. I think the Spartans will as well. Well, that'll do it from Bloomington Central Catholic. The Saints defend their home turf, improve to 7-0. Your final score once more, 67-28. The Saints over the Spartans. For our entire crew from Bloomington, camera operators Ryan Angulo and Magnus Roeder, director Joshua Messengers, producer Sydney Barnes, he's Garrett Oliver. I'm Dalton Carmine saying so long, and join us again next week on ClutchSportsIL.com.